What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, boy. Listen, Cole, I thought you were singing earlier, bro.
Got me feeling intoxicated.
Bro, I beg. Do you think he has a career in singing?
You know what? I'll leave it to God.
If you like it, I love it. Basically, that's what you just said right now. If you like it, I love it.
I'm gonna have a lot of fans, you know. I already do actually.
Listen, I know that them people that go to is it Britain's Got Talent and everything? That's what they say as well. You get me? And sometimes I look at them people, I'm like thinking your family don't love you.
Bro, some of them I don't like. Bro, you took the words out of my mouth.
You don't
How
have
do
friends.
their friends and family look at them?
They don't have
and
friends,
allow
bro.
them to go on that show.
They do not have friends, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm
that
telling
is
you.
mad.
You get me? But listen, I'm excited for this one, Cole.
Bro,
I'm excited for this one, bro.
I'm gassed.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking forward to this one, bro. Yeah, I came back from work today early. Yeah. Started setting up and everything. Yeah, about 2:00, I was already setting up and everything because I wanted everything to be perfect.
Wait. Is it because
Yeah.
of who we've got on the pod?
Yes.
Or is it because she is a female?
Because of who we got on the pod.
You sure about
Yeah,
that? It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Well, it's not a bit of both.
No,
Because, bro, we ain't had a female on the pod
because
in a
of who
minute.
she is, right? And obviously because it's a woman as well. You know what I'm saying? Because so many times a lot of people have been saying, yo, we need to have a woman on the pod and everything. We want to hear a woman's voice. You know what I'm saying? But we were like, you know what? If we're gonna do it, we gotta do it good, man. For real. You get me? You know, so I'm excited for this one, people. You guys asked for it. We delivered, bro.
As we always do.
You know what I'm saying? But how you feeling though? How's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling all right?
I'm buzzing.
Everyone feeling okay, yeah?
I'm buzzing, bro.
You ready to start, yeah?
I'm ready to start.
You ready to start, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, then, cool. Let's do this. Before we do the proper introduction,
Yeah.
you go, I mean, we need to start in properly, bruv. You know what I'm saying? We need to start with one of my guys out there, man. Because I'm excited for this. I don't know if you might know, or rather if you know, Usher, bruv.
Yo.
He is doing the Super Bowl.
Usher, bruh.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about that.
He's doing the Super Bowl. But let's start this, bruv. You get what I'm saying? Listen. It's live on location. Welcome to another episode of Fresh Off the Boat Show. Fresh Off the Boat podcast. Some people call it podcast, some people call it show. But it is Fresh Off the Boat. You get what I'm
Whatever
saying?
you wanna call it.
Yeah, man. Salute to all the freshers out there. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're right here with us. And for that, clap for yourselves, everybody, man. Clap for yourselves.
I appreciate you.
Listen, this episode is presented by yours truly, Toby and Koja, man.
Yeah.
Kelly's not here today.
Where Kelly Day?
Kelly, he's always missing the good part.
I know, innit?
You know what I'm saying?
At one
But
point,
that's
I
him,
thought
though.
I was missing the good part.
So, you know what? Yeah, I thought
At
that
one
too.
point,
I thought that too.
but not today.
But not today, man. You know what I'm saying?
Tell them why.
Listen, bruv. We've got a very special person, man, today, man. We do. You know what I mean? We've got... She's a queen. So I would say we got a queen today, bro.
she's
For
a
real.
queen.
You know what I mean? This woman right here, she's an award-nominated entertainment journalist. She's a strong arm in this industry, for real. From TV to radio to media to magazines and many more, bruv. You know what I mean?
Many more.
Many more, bruv. She has interviewed your favorites and your favorites.
Oh, your
bruv.
favorites.
You know
Tell
what I'm
them.
saying? From Wizkid to God, name them, bruv. She don't really do everything, man. For real. You know what I mean? She's also an Afrobeats ambassador.
Yep.
Not a lot of people deserve that title, but she does deserve that title,
Yep.
for real.
Most importantly, yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
She's the host of the Afronation show on Westside Radio.
Everything Afro.
You know what I'm saying? The Afrobeats columnist for Pulse Magazine and the F Word Magazine. A voting member of the Grammy Awards, the Brits Awards, the BET Awards,
Accolades.
and the Mobile Awards.
Accolades.
The great Miss Gracey Mae. How you doing? You get me? You like that, don't you? Yeah?
Yeah.
You get me? Listen, I had to prepare this one especially for you.
You know what?
You
I feel like I need to just like put you in a box and take you everywhere with me.
Listen, yeah, exactly.
I'm gassed right now. I can't stop smiling.
Oh,
Who
shit.
is that?
First of all, I need to fit into your box though. You know what I'm saying? You need to get a big one.
I will do anything for you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man.
I'm gassed.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. You get me?
No,
how are you though? You good?
I am good. It's been a busy summer. We're crossing into the last quarter. Yeah, I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. I'm so happy to meet both of you.
Listen,
in
we
the
are
live,
so
in the
well,
flesh.
Finally,
We're happy.
man.
We're happy to have you here. We're
Finally.
happy.
And to be one of the
To
only
meet you.
females to be in this seat.
I know.
Love that for me.
Listen, we appreciate that, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because we were just thinking about that. We were talking about that. We were like, yo, you know, these people have been asking for this. Who do we go for and everything? We were like, you know what? Let's reach out to you, man. We love your energy. We love everything that you've been doing.
Well, thank you for the
real.
invitation, and I'm so happy to be here.
Listen, we are happy to have you, man. You know what I'm saying? But before we jump into you, man, I think it's probably right that we start with this, because once we jump into you, we're not gonna leave you till the end.
Screaming.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, listen. It was announced that Usher will be doing the Super Bowl, man.
Woo.
For real.
Bro, I was happy when I saw that, man.
Were you surprised?
No, I wasn't. Because I've been waiting for that.
Is it?
Yeah,
How come?
bro. For what he's done for the culture, for his stance on, for the stamp that he's put on R&B and hip hop even.
Yeah.
Bro, this he should have done this like years ago.
What do you think?
You know what? Knowing that Rock Nation is like the Apple Music partner, so it's no longer like the Pepsi halftime. Now it's Apple Music.
Yeah.
I know that Jay-Z has like his hand in picking who gets to do the halftime show. So we've seen J-Lo and Shakira because of him. We had the Hip Hop at 50 because of him.
That was last year, no?
Last year, right? So I've been like, okay, cool. Like, what other black superstar can we get?
Really get.
Obviously, Beyonce was because of him as well. Rihanna was because of him.
Yeah.
And not just Jay-Z, obviously the whole Rock Nation team. But he was in an interview at some point where he was just like, oh, the halftime used to like piss everybody off because they would ask like 3 to 5 people each year.
Yeah.
And whoever was first to respond would get it. So every year they were like pissing off 4 artists. And he was just like, no, we're going to change it up. We're just going to ask 1 artist at a time. And if they decline, we'll move on. I feel like that's been a better approach. And Usher, I mean, is well deserving. He was actually my very first concert.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
for real?
Yeah, Wembley Arena. I won't give you the year because I'm about to reveal
No,
my
we need to know. We need to know. We need to
Well,
know.
by this point, like 8701 was already out, Confessions was already out, and I was out there as a teeny bopper screaming at the top of my lungs. So I can't wait to do it again at the halftime show. I mean, virtually, because I'm not a fan of, I don't even know, is it baseball? Cricket? I don't know. I'm not a fan of the sport.
She's a bit more crazy, though.
And you know what? I'm one of those people that I would join like an hour and a half in and just skim through. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the sport, but him, yes. And I've been seeing like footage from the Lagos residency. I've been seeing footage from the Paris show. His abs at his age, in fact, his abs full
He's in his
stop.
40s now, right?
Yeah, agile,
Listen,
He's ready.
buff
He's ready.
as anything.
He's ready.
But you know what? I'm not surprised. He's always dancing in it. That's exercise.
yeah,
That's exercise and everything, man. I mean, listen, I wasn't surprised. Do you know what? I was a bit surprised because earlier when they were talking about it, his name was not mentioned, which I probably think that they did it on purpose, if you ask me, right? Because I remember before Lizzo had the whole shit that she had, right? I think a news came out that her name was taken off the list. So everyone was saying, oh, okay, so they were probably thinking about her to do that. No one really was talking about Usher at all. But now looking back, I said, maybe they were prepping for this moment because the race dancing thing has been going on for like the last 2 years now. I think it was a thing because we've not seen a race dancing like this loud. You know what I mean? Like, bro, the media, the attention on this and everything he's doing with the ladies and everything on that. You get me? Like,
it was like
it made
was
sense.
all in preparation for this.
It made sense.
And you know what's so amazing as well? Like they've come out saying that there's going to be an album that drops
On the day.
There's going to be all these like different like BTS features and stuff. And apart from him being at Vegas, I think Adele was the only other youngish person that has had a residency that anybody cares about. Usually it's like Cher. Okay, no, Britney's had her residency too. Let me give her flowers. But I feel like when you think of residency, you think of like a legacy artist,
course.
somebody that can't necessarily tour
Yeah.
anymore. But the fact that Usher's still in his prime,
He's still doing
he's
his
still
thing.
got songs, he's still on the charts. Yeah, man. Shout
No,
out
no,
to him.
listen. He's killing it, bro. He's killing it.
He's still very
What
relevant.
song do you think? Yeah. What song do you think if he doesn't perform that song, you'll be pissed? Intro. What is that?
Love that.
What is that? Let me
Bro,
say something.
yeah. If I don't hear yeah.
Is it
If I don't hear yeah.
this?
Bro, I'm pissed. Come on, man.
Hey. Yeah. This is gonna come up. This is gonna come up. This is gonna come up.
Usher. Yeah.
This is gonna come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? That was one of the first like raps in a song that I learned.
Is
Watch
it?
out, my outfit
Ludicrous, isn't it?
ridiculous in the club, looking so
yeah,
conspicuous.
yeah.
You know what?
shit.
Yeah, that's baby.
He never killed that. Okay, so you is yeah.
Nah, I'm gunning for yeah, man.
I think he's gonna perform that.
Definitely.
Got
I think he has
He's
to do
got
that
to.
because if there are two people that he has to bring on stage, or maybe one person, it has to be ludicrous.
Yep.
How about you?
Yep.
You know what? I'm so on the fence because I don't know if he's going to give us like the slow jams. I would love to hear Burn. I would love to hear what's the one? The one where he's saying ladies speak to your man. Oh, what's the name of the song?
I don't know. Which
Hold on. You know what? There's a few. Of
Not
the slow
cool, no,
jams.
Do you know what? Be worrying about that, bro. This is the song.
Oh shit.
Burn.
Why? Oh my God! You're taking me back right now. Nah. This song needs to come on for real. All right, sing along.
It's gonna burn for me to say this, but it's coming from my heart. It's been a long time coming. I don't wanna work this out, but I don't think you're gonna change.
I go back through.
I do,
That's
but
why.
you don't think it's best we go our separate ways. Everyone finds in this relationship when I'm hurt, and baby, I ain't happy, baby. Plus, there's so many other things I'm gonna deal with. I think that you should let it burn. And the feeling ain't the same in your body. Don't want to, but you know, gotta let it go. Cause the body ain't jumping like it used to. Even though it's my
Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn.
deep down, you know it's bad for yourself and you. Ain't the fault of it being with someone else, but you know that it's over. Okay.
Hey, karaoke all going.
Yo, I don't care. He needs to do.
yo.
You know, because it's like a halftime show and it's high energy. Is he gonna do the mid-tempo, slow tempo stuff?
I think he would.
That is
I
what
think
I'm
he
thinking,
would, bro.
'cause, like,
if you
so-
look at Prince, Prince when he did Purple Rain, I don't know if you guys were paying attention then, bro. Purple Rain is so slow. You
But it's a
got-
classic.
But it's a classic though.
But Burn is a classic too.
Burn is a classic, bro.
Nah,
You
straight,
get me?
straight,
Where were
straight.
you guys? Can you remember what you were doing the first time you heard Burn?
I can't remember. I ain't gonna lie.
I remember when I first saw the video, it was on either MTV Base or The Box. It's like back in the day when we still had cable. And I remember being like, oh my God, things are on fire. I remember like seeing it, but no, I don't know.
I remember
Is
where
it?
I was when I heard Confessions.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I
And the
remember where
Jermaine
I was
Dupri,
when-
everything. Oh my
yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you?
An ex played it to me. yeah. Nah, that one I remember. That was the first time I heard it. I was like, is that Usher? I remember very, very well. I was in like, was I in like secondary school or something? That was time ago, man. But I remember she played it to me, crying, you know, the
For real.
love it.
For real.
I was not even paying attention to it. I was paying attention to the song. I was thinking, is that not Usher? Because I couldn't make it out. in the
Wait.
beginning.
Why would she play this song for you?
Bro,
Why
And
would she
crying. Why was she crying?
I'm not gonna get into details.
Wow, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
Did you cheat?
Nah.
Let's see. Yeah.
Man don't cheat, bro. Black
Sip
men,
your
black,
drink.
black,
Sip
black,
your
black,
drink.
black men don't
Exactly.
cheat.
Sip your drink, guys. Sip your
I
drink.
better sip my water.
You know what? I remember where I was when I heard Burn.
Where were you?
And it was not the best of ways.
Oh, okay.
You get me? And funny enough, at that time, my boy called me, rough.
Oh shit.
My boy called me and told me, yo, we saw your girl with the Nest Man. I swear to God, we saw your girl with the Nest Man and everything, bro. So I said, what? So I went straight to the girl's house. Boom. I said, yo, what's going on? Let's work on this. She said, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. Boom, 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 boom. You know, after that whole conversation, bro, I went back home that night. I couldn't sleep. I was just like this on my bed that night, yeah. And the radio then, they played Burn. That was the first time I heard Burn. You know what I mean? I started listening to the song that night and everything. And since that time, bro. And then I saw the video, obviously. You get me? The video was sick and everything.
And then the next day you probably got a CD and then bent it on the CD.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one. But yeah, that was the first time I ever heard Burn. And listen, Burn is a classic, bro.
Classic. I remember the second song. It's You Got It Bad.
You got it bad.
When you're on the phone, hang up and you call right back.
You got it bad. Yo, bro, can anyone ever forget about Usher? Like, can these songs ever fade away?
And the joke is, I was with two, let me call them Gen Zers. Oxlade is one of them, and Ayosh used to be on my team. And they were really trying to debate Chris Brown and Usher with me. And I said,
I don't get it.
If I'm to beat you, I don't understand because
I do not get that debate.
Guys, no.
And it's not them, you know. That debate has been going on because that was what led to people talking about that they're gonna do the verses and everything.
Yes.
Bro. Fam.
But that is very debatable.
Huh?
No, my guy. Gracey, that is debatable.
Usher, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown has got some classics.
No.
Facts.
He does. He has hits.
But Usher?
But Usher.
No, but Chris too? What are you guys talking about?
Usher is our male Beyonce. Facts.
Yes.
And what is Chris Brown in?
Maybe Chris Brown is the next generation. I don't know.
What are you talking
Bearing in
about?
mind,
Next
I've been
generation.
a Chris Brown fan from Run It with Joe Santana.
Exactly.
I've been a fan.
And that is when Usher was releasing Confessions and that, Deep It. Chris Brown came out at a younger age.
Is there any Chris Brown song?
No,
Yeah? Bro,
sorry,
is
let
there
me just
any
fact
Chris
check
Brown
you.
song?
Chris Brown came out at 16. Usher came out at 14.
But then when did Usher start
even
popping
younger,
like
right?
that?
Usher signed to Diddy when he was around 14.
But when did he start popping?
So excuse me, he was popping from when he was talking about Drop Top Cruise.
But all these songs that you lot are singing, he dropped them when he was in his early 20s.
No.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
remember Usher from US, HER.
But you're singing, you're singing Burn It and then Confessions and then
So we
You
are
Got It Bad and that.
Okay, all those songs were either 8701 or the Confessions album. But the song My Way,
Bro.
How old was he when he dropped My Way?
know.
15?
Did you guys hear?
My Way.
You call me my way.
My taker. Yeah, come on. Come on. What year was this?
Chris. This was 97.
Thank you.
Are you crazy? Huh? Are you crazy?
No, you got
Oh
something.
my
you
gosh,
got something.
yeah. See the thing about you that caught my eye. Woo!
You know,
Are you crazy?
You know what? This is all about Usher. So I'm not gonna debate.
Listen,
My brother,
Been
do it on my way, get on my way for years.
Hey.
In my career, and every lover,
My God.
did
Nah, you enter me.
without a care. Until I met this girl who turned the tables around. She caught me by surprise. I never thought I'd be the one break it down. I can't figure it out why I'm so caught up. Got me feeling it, caught up. I don't know what it is, but it seems she's got me twisted.
Okay,
I'm so
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Losing control. This girl's got a hold on me. Please, I got one more. Just to seal the deal. You don't have to call.
You don't have to call.
I'm not even going to U-turn. I'm not even going to Superstar.
Okay, girl.
Bro. Because I will be alright tonight.
You don't have to call. Wait, what album was he on again?
That would have been 8701.
8701. I'm just looking for it right now.
It's okay, girl. I will be alright. Yes. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. That's my nigga for real.
And he's living it. He's living it for real. He's living it for real. Look,
true player for real. That's my nigga for real. For real. Ready? Situations will arise in a life, but you gotta be strong about it. Celebrations with the guys. I sacrifice. You could not sleep without it. Meanwhile, I love you. You are my girl. Okay, sorry, last one because I'm a big Usher fan. Just pop your collar and then I'll leave you alone. Pop your collar.
Pop your collar, yeah.
Hey,
we're really doing this.
Hey, fellas, you know you're doing good because they're jealous. You know, yes, this one. Woo!
Could you just stop, man?
None
of these guys are touching Usher. Dancing wise, yeah. Dancing wise, I'll give it to you.
I'll throw it
But
away.
you're talking about hits.
Like I say, one day we need to do our own verses, you know.
People hate you, yeah. For yourself.
When I need you,
Yeah. No one else feel like you're not being real. Wanna live.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
And do what you wanna do.
Yeah.
Color, no people say bother you.
Yeah.
You can eat it or throw it away.
Hey.
Ready?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Hey ladies, hey fellas, you know you're doing good cause they jealous. You know they hate you cause you're a go-getter. Pop your collar, don't let it switch up.
Oh no, cut the music,
hey
let it
fellas,
continue. Cut the
you know
music,
you're
let it
doing
carry
good
on.
cause they jealous. You know they hate you cause you're a go-getter. Pop your collar, don't let it switch up.
Don't just stop. This is Usher, bro. This is Usher, bro. You get me? Nah, bro.
Wait,
I'm
critical question. Is it still debatable?
Nah, I don't think so. Nah.
Is it
I'm
still
gonna drop the mic right now. I'll leave it for today.
Listen.
We'll carry on this debate off mic.
Listen, Chris Brown is him. Chris Brown is him. But he's not touching Usher when it comes to hits. Bro, we got keep your book. And listen, the whole Chris Brown thing here, we can say, okay, if not for what this happened, that happened, or whatever, he probably gonna be here.
If
but
you
Usher
said,
is Usher, bro.
if you said to me, yeah, Chris is not touching Usher when it comes to classics, I'd agree with that.
But that's what I'm saying.
When
though,
you
isn't
say when it comes to hits,
Before a hit becomes a classic, it has to be a hit.
Yeah.
So if Usher has classics, that means he's also got hits.
Timeless.
Sure, you get.
Nah, I don't.
You're doing
not
boy math
directly
right
though.
now.
No. A song does not need to become a hit before it becomes a classic. Not necessarily.
Yeah, it does.
Not necessarily. Not every classic song was a hit.
When it first
Name
came
one.
out. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Name one.
Some songs, cooked.
Thank
later
you very
on.
much.
I
They
get
cooked
what you're
later
saying.
on.
You got
And
me.
Name one.
and this song that you just played, in my opinion, it was not a hit. It was a classic.
What?
Hang Your Color was not a hit. It was a
First of all, it's
classic.
pop your collar. Don't disrespect
I mean,
Usher.
Fab, you get it right. Man.
I'm
Get it
joking.
right.
I'm joking.
Nah, but well, you know what?
But you know what? Maybe because there's a few years between us, it was a hit for us.
Yeah, it was a hit, bro.
When you were in year 10, I was in year 7.
Yeah, but then I should enjoy Usher even more.
Maybe
'Cause
not.
I'm a
Maybe
bit
when
older,
you were in the depths of your GCSE
To be-
level. I was still teeny bopping. You
Exactly.
get-
She was still in the mix, bro.
It was
She
a
was
hit.
still in the mix,
This
bro.
Gracie, yeah.
She was in the mix, bro.
All right, say less.
Nah,
say
bro. I'm
less.
looking forward to this, man. I'm looking forward to this because I was thinking that a couple days ago. Is there like a performance, that in terms of anticipation that a lot of people have been looking at? Maybe Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce was that was a moment. The Weeknd, you have to be like a Weeknd guy to really be into that. I'm a Weeknd guy, so I stayed up for that. Bruno Mars was sick. Who else? Let's say
Rihanna,
I enjoyed it.
Rihanna was
I enjoyed it, even though a lot of people were saying that, but she was pregnant. Like,
I think the people that didn't like it haven't seen Rihanna live before. She's not crazy with performances. She does sick choreography. She'll give you a nice, clean fashion look. Yeah. But she's not the girly that's going to give you all the riffs, all the runs. She's not that type
she's
of
not like the Beyonce of 10 years ago. Where,
right. And she never has been. So to expect her to come out as her first performance in like 7 years, it was never going to be there. But she killed it. The levels, remember she had all the moving levels and all the dancers in white.
It was beautiful.
It was sick.
It was beautiful. I enjoyed it. I believe 2011 was the Black Eyed Peas. Usher actually performed with them.
He did. He came out.
The Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, with the Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and then Slash and everything. But I don't think, because I'm going through the list right now,
The J-Lo era, J-Lo and Shakira.
Cool. People enjoyed it, but I did not. I did not care for it at all.
I don't think it was that anticipated.
I did not care for it at all. Maybe Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
That was a badass.
Yeah, 2022. Then Rihanna. Nah, I'm looking forward to this, man. I am looking forward to this. But Usher needs to come to London, though, with the whole residency thing.
He needs to.
You get me?
We've been petitioning.
I'm telling you, he needs to be in London, man. You can't go all the way to Paris and everything and not come London.
Not take a dive to London.
Yeah, man, you got to, man. You
know what? I'm hoping he's just waiting on the right promoter to bring him across. Because with these things, without getting too much into like the music business of it, his fee is going to be his fee. So it's just about finding a promoter that's going to pay him his fee, but then also pay for production. Because he doesn't play about. In Paris, I saw strippers in the sky coming down the pole. I saw like the roller skating dancers. There was like different fashion looks. The stage was crazy. He was grinding against, a mic stand as he usually does.
I'm sure production will make their money in London. London is so...
We're in a cost of living crisis, mate. Yeah, the cost of living.
But people are still popping bottles. People are still spending money. People are still... Like,
you know what it is? I think critically, whoever's bringing him is looking at the R&B market right now and probably thinking that Afrobeats is killing it, drill is killing it, UK rap is killing it, but maybe the R&B side isn't maybe as strong. And probably
you don't think it's as strong in the UK?
To me, a lot of the R&B singers that have popped that are British have had to migrate to find the success outside. But Ella May. Well, I mean, even if you speak to people like Shea Universe, Bella, these are the new R&B girls, even Breenie One Way. And, the new gen guys they're like, the UK doesn't support them until somebody else does. And so whoever's financing that tour, that rollout, whatever, is probably thinking, okay, they're not sure we've got market. That's one. Two, Usher's current audience. I mean, the Gen Zs, Gen Alphas appreciate him as an OG, but the people that they're targeting are us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The guys in their 30s, and we have responsibilities.
We have bills
to pay. We got bills. We got some of us have kids. Bills to pay. And so if the price point is at like £300, $250, whatever, because some of the French tickets were crazy. Maybe they're trying to judge it.
Listen, I disagree with you though. Like some of these men out here are going on dinner dates, paying £200, £300, £400 for dinner dates.
No, you can't compare dinner date to this. You can't compare dinner date to this though.
Cause
man's going to a dinner date.
If you take a chick to an Usher concert,
okay. Fair enough.
But
I see where you're going with that.
On a dinner date, you're probably paying $300 in total, right? If you're buying 2 tickets for Usher at $600, that's
just the tickets.
That's a flight in the abroad. And that's not including if you're going to give her the full package of the hotel experience, maybe a dinner before. That has to be like a proposal or birthday. Crazy. That's $1,000 easily. So
because I saw the prices for Paris and everything. I was like, yikes.
What were they saying?
I think it was about €1,000 or something like that.
€1,000?
Yeah. For the good seats.
Yeah, just for the good seat. You're not talking about
that is mad.
Bro. You got me? If I'm not mistaken, because I really wanted to go, but I was like, okay, do you know what? Let me wait for him to come to London.
So you're not even chatting about VIP tickets? Like
No.
Like good view seats, like...
There were some 250 seats that I saw, but it was like obstructive view,
but that's still,
high in the sky.
You want to get a good view.
Yeah, of course.
But if we're talking about $1,000, my first car was $1,200.
There you go.
But that was how many years ago? Decades ago.
So, excuse you.
Bro, you
No, but you know you can still find a decent running car for $1,000. So it's just
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on a
Maybe not so decent.
second hand. Yeah, come on now, guys. What bubble are you living in?
I swear it has bare miles on it.
Nah, that's if you're planning to drive it for like 6 months.
But okay, if you had a child that had just turned 16, you're not gonna get them a Mercedes.
No, of course not.
You're getting them the
fair
£1,000 car.
Yeah.
So my point is car versus Usher experience. Me,
Car.
I'm picking Usher. No, I'm kidding. I'm picking the car. So yeah, I mean, $1,000 is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah, but that's Usher though.
It's
Jesus.
Usher, and it's a once in a lifetime experience.
Bro. That's
yeah.
an experience.
Yeah.
But listen. Salute to Usher, man.
No, we're looking forward to
Salute
that
to
like crazy.
Yeah, salute to Usher,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
You get what I'm saying? All right, cool. Let's get into you now, man.
Okay.
Let's get into you. You get
Yep,
me?
yep,
We've
yep,
done
yep,
Usher,
yep.
all that, man. But we got to get into you right now, man. Listen, I've been stalking you a little bit, innit?
Okay.
I've been stalking you and all
Just a
that.
tiny
you know?
little.
Not
Listen,
in a
just
creepy
little
way.
bit. Yeah.
No,
In the creepy way. Okay, great.
Nah. I didn't hear that first. I had to think about that.
Hey, when you said yeah, I was gonna say talk for yourself.
Exactly, bro. I didn't hear that first, man. But yeah, you know, obviously you've done great for yourself and everything.
We
You get
thank
me?
God, we
Listen,
thank God.
you've done great for yourself. You know, just read out your achievements and everything that you've done and all that. You know, how chaotic is your work? Because I'm sure because I saw a tweet which you did and everything. Like you did about 36 interviews in 1 week.
No, it's crazy.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts because I read that and I was thinking, for someone like myself, with how much of an introvert I am, I think the most we've done is probably 3 or 4 a week.
In a week, yeah, I think like 3.
And I was so exhausted.
You man texted at like 3 in the morning. Yo, guys, I just finished the interview. This guy, you know,
With Bad Boy
I'm
Tems.
mad
I
tired.
love him. He's my friend. Love him a lot.
Listen, he came over here, yeah. He is a very funny guy.
Hilarious.
Really enjoyed it and everything, but they turned up like around 12 midnight.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So turned up and everything. By the time we started the interview, it was like 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. By the time we finished, I was knackered as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But let's get to you, man. 36 interviews in 1 week. How did you cope?
You know what? My life has been very intense, high pressured, fast paced for a long time. I've been in the industry for 8 years now. I've hosted the Afronation show for the last 6 years. It'll be 6 years in November.
Nice.
I've interviewed over 250 Afrobeats artists. So
Shish.
yeah, it's all glory to God because you know Afrobeats is popping now. But when I started, they didn't
Was
want to give
dead.
us the time of day. In fact, the reason why I've been on air for 8 years, but I've only had my show for 6 years, is because for the first 2 years I was like, hey, we need an Afrobeat show. They were like, what's that? And at the time, it was only like the bands that had come out with
How long
Oliver
ago was
Twist 8 years ago. Fuse, ODG with Antenna and Azonto was out, but
Right.
there wasn't like a movement. It was like pockets of Afrobeats, and it was like very Ghana heavy.
Look at them.
So at that point, it didn't feel like there was enough demand for an Afrobeat show. But since then, you know, all glory to God, I've been able to meet and interview literally everybody you said. So all of the female greats. Let me start with the women. So Tiwa, Yemi, Tems,
Salute to all the ladies. Salute to all the ladies. Salute to all the ladies. Salute to all the ladies for real.
ladies. As well as, you know, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me let the clap finish.
Yeah, exactly.
As well as all the guys as well. So yeah, I mean, I'm so happy because we prayed for days like this, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
Afrobeats is center stage, it's mainstream, and my work in journalism on air led to my written career in terms of like interviewing people and then like writing it in different magazines, which then led to my PR company. So being able to help artists do a successful campaign. A lot of people didn't have a middleman. They knew that they created music in Nigeria or Ghana or on the continent, but didn't know how to publicize it in the UK, Europe, outside of the continent. And given the fact that I go back home so often, and given the fact that even before I was a publicist, I had my other colleagues on radio, I had my other colleagues in writing. So being able to do a campaign made sense. And I used to do IT project management.
Oh shit.
And I worked in marketing, so I understood what promo looked
so that
like.
definitely helped, yeah.
Right. So then I developed what we call the 4 Ps, which is promo, press, publications, and playlisting.
You guys listening out there, man.
That's the hack, the 360 hack for a good campaign. And given that, like I said, I had the colleagues in publications, which is writing, in press, which is TV, radio, podcasting, like you guys, and playlisting, which is obviously the Apples, the Spotifys, and whatever else, as well as what was the last one? Promo, my marketing background, and my legal background, but we won't get into that.
Prior to getting into marketing, you studied law, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Where did that switch even come from? Like law to marketing.
And then to this.
It's a lot. Yeah. I'm a cat with 9 lives, definitely. I think I secretly knew I was never going to be a lawyer, but both my parents are doctors.
Of course.
Right.
So, of course, we all have that story.
Yeah.
So it was one of them ones. Like,
you know what though? In fairness to my mom, she was born and raised here, so that like conservative pressure wasn't necessarily there.
Too
strong,
but just knowing that both my parents were accomplished and all my aunties and uncles were accomplished, and I'm the first child of my parents, it was an inherent kind of pressure
on yourself.
Yeah, on myself. Like I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I didn't want to be the black sheep of the family. Without getting too deep with it, my mum is a single parent, so I also didn't want my dad's family to look at her and be like, she's failed. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm good at talking. I love to analyze. I'm actually very good at a structured argument. What could benefit? Okay, law. And I think before undergrad, my A-levels were like psychology, sociology, philosophy. Okay. So I was very much a people person. Oh, nice. Anyway, I did law and I actually thought I was going to do it. And then I graduated and I wanted to go into human rights because I wanted to help people that couldn't help themselves. Yeah. And I got into it and I realized that, oh, wow, law is just what you can prove and how much money you have. Yeah. I was like, if it's about making money, there are jobs that are way less stress
than this.
Right. And so that's
I'm
how
going to be cramming all this stuff.
Is it. Yeah. So that's how I pivoted into project management and then specialized in IT and then specialized in data marketing. And then the journey, without getting too complex with it, was I started creating content on YouTube. I got discovered on YouTube. Westside actually said, oh my gosh, you have a great personality for radio. Right. Have you ever considered it? Went in for a demo, got my show literally the week after. And that's how it kind of escalated to where we are today with me, working with different labels, consulting for the Grammys and the BETs and the Mohbads and the Rich, everything you said before. Yeah. And obviously now managing artists as well. So it's been a crazy journey, but
no, that is mental.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
All glory to God.
So they give you your own show a week after your demo.
Yeah, and
that is
I started
mad.
off on a hip hop and R&B show, which is why I can know all the Usher lyrics word.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It was a morning show as well, and it was Saturday, Sunday, and after banging down the door saying I need an Afrobeat show, they actually paired me with Rod Rance, who is still my DJ till today. Yeah, we had a demo, just like a chemistry test to see if we'd get on, and the rest is history.
It worked. What was that first conversation like? The Afrobeat conversation, like, listen, we need to have an Afrobeat show. What was that conversation like?
You know what? It was a bit, I don't want to say tense, but it was around the time where I had just really started discovering like Star Plus and stuff for myself. They were my intro to Afrobeats. My mom, like I mentioned, was born here. So she wasn't playing like Ebenezer Obey or King Sunny Ade in the house. Like I grew up on Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston, even Ja Rule and Usher. Like my mom's favorite song for a period of time was What's Love Got to... Anyway, that's a whole other story. But so I had to discover Afrobeats and African music for myself. And my intro was Star Plus, Olufumi, and Imagine.
Oh my God! Do you know?
Olufumi. I didn't understand it. Single words like yo.
Yo, I love them boys, man. Them boys can sing their ass off.
And they're on my list of like artists that I haven't gotten to interview yet. But like once I do, I can retire happy.
Hold on, like, are they still around right now?
They're still around. They still do like local shows. They're based in Abuja. And every time I've gone to Nigeria, I've been in Lagos. So we haven't been able to make it work. But guys, if you're watching, I still want to meet you.
Listen.
I'm gonna fangirl out. I promise you.
You hear that, man. Nah. I love them boys, man. I remember the first time they came out and everything, I was like, who are these guys? Because I think that was just after the reign of like Plantation Boys and everything. So we were always looking for that new boy band and all that. And they came out from Abuja and oh my God, them guys were so good.
Bro, they were popping in Ghana. Because like I said, they were singing in, what is that, Yoruba?
Yeah.
No one understood it, but those songs were
the melodies
fire.
And everything. Yeah, the melodies.
Everyone could sing to it. Like you're either murmuring the words or you're just
vibing to it.
Yeah.
Nah, it's amazing, man. Those guys were good.
It was a whole era in itself, and then that introduced me
absolutely.
to P Square and even Plantation Boys and Weird MC and all of the OGs at that point. So that was my introduction. But because they hadn't crossed over to the UK, when I was having those conversations of we need an Afrobeat show, they were like, well, we don't hear these songs in the club. We don't see anyone like talking about it. And at that time it was Facebook. So nobody was Facebooking about it or even Instagramming about it. And I was like, you know what, you're right. So I bid my time. And then when the opportunity presented itself, because at that point I'd been feasting on African music at that point, maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years, it meant that the show had substance. So the format of our show is the first half an hour is like a freestyle mix. Then we do what we call Wave of the Week. So there's 54 countries in Africa, 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So every week we try and spotlight a different country.
Oh, sick.
Staying away from Nigeria and Ghana, which are, the hub. A lot of people know. And obviously Amapiano is coming now as well. But, we'll play a song from South Sudan. We'll play a song from Burundi.
Okay.
Wow.
Really trying to do like that Afro discovery, Afro education. Then we'll do a top 5 where we kind of playlist 5 songs that are really popping. And then we end with like another mix. So over the 6 years, we've been able to platform so many people. When I say these guys are my friends, it's because I'm usually one of the first people that have interviewed them in the UK, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And like I said, the journey's been beautiful, chaotic, crazy, intense. A lot of these deals are made in the bar, not in the boardroom. So it's also having to adapt to nightlife. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain.
No. You know what? You've done great for yourself, man, because part of the reason why I asked you this is, obviously we are stepping into this world right now. And a lot of people, including yourself, a lot of people have said to me, yo, you have to really be out there. Because I'm a homebody, bro. I'm a homebody. I'm
Same,
always
I
at
ain't
home
gonna
and
lie.
everything. These guys are even worse sometimes.
See this guy.
Sometimes I hit these guys up and I'm like, yo, G, we've got to be here and everything. This guy will come up with bad excuse.
It's not an excuse.
He go bad. I'm like, all right, cool.
When life is just life in you.
Yeah, of course. But that's amazing though. But what goes into the preparation of your interviews and that? Because I know, correct me if I'm wrong. When we podcast just us, it's easier that way. But when you have a guest, you have to research, do your research on the guest and everything, all that. So I kind of think like a lot of work probably goes into that. So for you to have 36 or more interviews like that,
in a week,
how much work goes into that preparation?
It's a lot. It is a lot. But because I have a segment on my show called Gossip of the Day with Gracey Mae, it's like a 5-minute section where I'm talking about Afropop news. A lot of the times when they're in the headlines, I'm just absorbing it anyway because I'm always on the hunt for what's happening in the community, in the culture right now. So usually preparing for the interviews for me, I'm a bit of a nerd. I love listening to podcasts and I love listening to interviews anyway. One, to keep me sharp in terms of like my own interviewing style and technique and skills or whatever, but also because I'm nosy. Okay, I'm nosy. So,
she too like gossip.
I do. But it means that preparing for these interviews is so much easier because a lot of the stuff I've just kind of absorbed passively because I've gone to watch an interview because I like the artist, or I've gone to watch an interview because I like the platform, or I've gone to find out about this artist because they've been trending and I want to get to the depths of, okay, what's actually happening? Let me have an informed opinion and not just follow what's trending. So it's intense, 100% it is. Especially when you're, for me, how I prepare for interviews is I will watch maybe like the first 6 interviews I see on YouTube, regardless of how long they are. And then I'll go back to like 5 or 6 years ago.
And check out,
because, the more artists kind of mature in their journey, the more media trained they get, the more they hide certain parts of their history.
Absolutely.
Whereas if it was 5 or 6 years ago, everyone's fresh. Everyone's just saying anything.
Everyone just saying anything, you can find something there.
Yeah, and so a lot of the feedback that I get, especially on the mic when I'm interviewing an artist, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you find that out? Baby,
Listen,
I went into the archives.
Exactly.
And I think also watching past interviews lets me kind of gauge their personality. So I know that if I have to over prepare in terms of knowing that maybe they're a bit quieter, they would just answer what I've said as opposed to kind of telling a story. Or someone like Ladipo, where I think I asked him 4 questions and he spoke for 45 minutes.
Listen, those are the amazing ones.
Love him. But I get it because he's a rapper, he's a lyricist, so he's used to kind of expressing himself in that way. But I mean, being able to watch interviews and do that research also lets you know how to prepare. And if I know that, okay, this is a talker,
just let him talk. Just let him talk.
And I will respond to what he's saying, but I don't necessarily have to go into, when did you find out you loved music? Where did you grow up? How many siblings? And also I think when I prepare to have a conversation with someone, as opposed to, here is my list of 12 questions, I'm going to ask what I prepared regardless of what you say. Like preparing for a conversation, I think is a nicer experience for them.
Absolutely.
For me, for the listeners.
Just answer them question and everything.
And being just a normal person.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Because that's part of the reason why we also do this, right? When we invite people, we want to have a conversation.
Right.
You know, we just don't have
it's not
questions and everything.
It's not just about question and answers.
Because
you
it's
just
boring,
want
isn't it?
Exactly. And I think this helps even with the business side of things, with the PR I do, because someone is like, oh my gosh, you're so invested in my story. You've taken the time to find out about me. The questions you're asking, no one has ever asked before. So because now I know them on a more personal level, it kind of, not to say it leads into a friendship, but now we're not just interviewee, bye, nice to meet you.
It's like
they're invested into, following back, responding to the DMs, and all of that kind of escalates and snowballs into a working relationship, even if it doesn't end up as a friendship.
Absolutely.
But see, this is probably something that we can relate to this. What I want to know. You see, when you've interviewed so many artists, like so many people, I'm sure, I might be wrong, some of them may have cancelled or not turned up or whatnot. And you may have been looking forward to it so much. How do you do with that? Like, it's happened to us before, and then
oh my God,
like we get a bit in our emotions, or thinking, rah, this guy, like, do you get what I mean? How do you deal with it when artists cancels an interview or don't turn up, or they turn up but then they are not what you expected them to be, and then how do you handle it?
You know what? There's a saying that's always
First of all, has that happened to you before?
100%. Many times. Especially in the early days when I didn't really have a platform. And so, you know, now I've been able to create a niche for myself. And so when we're thinking about like Afro platforms to go to in the UK, I'm one of the first names, right? So now people, even out of just respect for the name, will make sure they come on time. But back in the day, I've had people cancel after the interview was started. I've had people cancel and just not say anything and just not show up.
After it started?
Yes, now I've had people where we've hired studios or even bought drinks or whatever, and they don't.
Listen,
I've gone through the trenches and back. But how I was able to get over it is, one, it's never personal. It's always been business. And two, because I've been a fan of you, not in a transactional way. I'm not a fan of you because you've respected me enough to come to my platform. I'm just a fan of you.
Yeah.
It's been able to keep me level. And also sometimes, you know, it's a nice humble check. When I want to carry myself in the clouds because people are hailing me, it reminds me that, okay, we're all human. And if they're not sending for me, I still sometimes have to send for you.
It is what it is. Like the thing with me is, because he just brought it up and everything, there is someone out there that it's still hurting.
It's stinging.
It's still hurting me. But it wasn't because he didn't turn up. It was a thing. It was the way he went about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a situation where, all right, cool. He said, okay, he reached out and everything. He was like, yo, you know, can you please play my music? Can you please react to my music or whatever? Cool, bless, boom. You know, so we did it. So we heard that he was coming to the UK. We were like, yo, you want to come on the platform? Yeah, of course. I've got a show, whatever. Boom, I'm going to come. All right, that's fine. And the day that he was meant to turn up, I've told these guys, everyone is gassed. We all gassed to meme and everything. And on that day, bro, this guy was not replying to his messages. Wasn't replying to his messages.
It's not like he messaged to say, yo, guys, I'm sorry, but, you know, I can't do it.
You get what I'm saying? Like to me...
Guys, you're in your feelings. Let me beat this story, okay?
Tell me.
I had a producer turned artist, big guy. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys the name off air. Who was supposed to come to the show.
Yeah.
I found out he was not coming to my show by going on Instagram. He was on a red carpet at a film premiere. He didn't even have the decency to tell me,
say, yo, I'm
not coming, or I didn't realize there
and
was
it
a
was
clash.
all booked in, everything.
And you know, the thing is, everything you said about preparing the interviews, preparing the segments, even just making it a nice environment, customizing it to who's coming. We don't have the same setup for everybody because then that's boring.
Yeah.
But even just, I said to you that I will literally watch 6 interviews, then make sure I do a throwback one. So I've watched at least, call it 4 hours of content listening to this same person for you to not even have the decency to say you're not coming.
Yeah.
I had somebody else who made up one fantastic lie about how the car was broken into and they stole some of the stuff. So she or he wasn't in the mental frame to do the interview. And then I ended up interviewing the same person a year later, and she completely forgot about the lie.
Of course,
and she was the most amazing. She or he was the most amazing guest ever.
Do you know what? Funny enough,
it happens.
You know what? Funny enough,
it's business.
Do you know what? Funny enough, I'd rather you lie to me though.
Really?
I would rather you just
No.
I would rather you lie to me. You have the respect to say, yo, this is, even if it's a lie, I get it. Than for you to just
Not say anything.
Okay,
not say nothing and just
yeah,
blank.
Just me. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like thinking, godly, like.
Let me tell you though, being on the other side of it now, being a publicist, I now have seen what could happen.
Okay.
One, maybe the person doesn't know about the platform or has been told about the interview late. Two, maybe that person has a personal issue with whoever you've booked them in for.
Okay.
Three, I've actually been in situations where somebody has had a very close person pass away.
Oh shit.
And the platform was really like, well, he has to come. We've da-da-da-da-da. Like I get angry voice notes, texts, emails all the time on behalf of the talent that I look after. And you really have no idea what's happening in their lives. And as much as we both benefit, so you benefit, as I say you, we as radio hosts, podcasters benefit from the content and they benefit from the exposure. If the person is not in the right mental frame,
of course,
if
absolutely.
they've had something crazy happen to them, you get a rubbish interview, we get rubbish content. It doesn't work for
it just doesn't work
anybody.
for no one. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think the thing that always makes me laugh is when people scream at me and I'm just like,
What's going
baby, I understand. I'm in your shoes. I still host a show, so I get it.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a last minute cancellation. But where you say you prefer a lie, I will always tell the truth. My integrity is too much. And also, I'm not lying on behalf of somebody.
Yeah, but
What do you mean?
No, but this is what I'm saying. Yeah, if the person says, you know what, bro, I can't make it because of maybe I've got another commitment or whatever. Like, just say something.
At least reach out.
At least just reach out.
Yeah.
You know, their favorite excuse is, oh, I don't have Wi-Fi in this country. I didn't see the messaging. I've heard it all, bro. I've heard it all.
That's so crazy.
Wi-Fi in the UK.
No, because they'll tell you that they're on their 2, 3, 4 SIM cards, so they have to connect to Wi-Fi.
That makes
so
sense though. That could be true.
They've heard that lie somewhere else. That's how they've repeated it.
I know.
But yeah, I've dealt with it all.
Nah, it's crazy though. It's crazy. But you know what? Yeah. Before you started and everything, you said something about the women. You said, listen, I've got to give the women their flowers and everything. Yeah. And obviously, I saw one of your tweets. Like I said, I've been checking out your tweets.
Love that for me.
Yeah. And one of the things that you said is, I'm just going to pull it up real quick.
I tweet reckless sometimes. Let's see what you saw.
Or rather, I think you probably reposted this one. You said, or rather, the thing was looking for panelists for Black History Month events and putting together. The team is celebrating our sisters. So we'd love to highlight Black women who have blazed the trail, suggesting welcome paid, whatever that is. But the thing is, do you think in our culture, women get their flowers?
You know what? I think the millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha split is very obvious. So I feel like when I think about Gen Z, Gen Alpha artists that are killing it, apart from Ira doing her thing, there's Escort, there's Solace. I can name Ria Sean, pretty much in every camp. Leah that was with DMW, in every camp. Even Don Jazzy's just announced Life Size Teddy, the female rapper.
She is sick.
She's cold.
She is sick.
But there are so many girls undergrounds that are really doing their thing. I think the whole concept of there being limited seats for women at the table is very much a boomer thing. It's very much a millennial thing. Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they don't care. They're equal opportunities. If you have the talent, you'll get it. I think the issue across the board with Afrobeats right now is funding, is ownership, and empowerment. Those are the three things that are really lacking. I think a lot of people that are investing in Afrobeats right now have come with a very exploitive and extractive mandate. They're here to see what they can get and take out, as opposed to reinvesting in the ecosystem, building up not just the artists, but the teams, the publishing, the shows.
The culture itself as well.
The culture. They don't care. They're here for the money. And in the same way that, reggae had its, window, dancehall had its window, even Pitbull and the Latino
house
era.
music and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Funky House was the rave of the moment and is now a memory of the past. Everything that's happened in these other waves. And there was actually a debate on Twitter about how dancehall hasn't produced as many superstars as Afrobeats. And
it's mad,
one,
isn't it?
it's a volume thing. Nigerians make up a quarter of all Black people in the world. But two, I think we've actually had a bit more time to educate ourselves. Not to say that everybody's making the right moves, but I feel like what we've done that maybe some of the other waves haven't done is seen it for what it is and not thought that, okay, people are caring because they care in general and knowing that they're caring in the moment. So I'm hoping, praying that we're talking about these things and having these open conversations now so that, not lip gloss on the cover.
No, it's all good.
Sorry about that.
It's so good.
But yeah, having these conversations now so that
This guy, you Chris. It's a bad boy.
having these conversations now so that we can educate ourselves so that when, you know, the world's gaze has shifted from Afrobeats, we can still retain the wealth and the ownership. Not that somebody else is owning our masters and owning our licensing. In perpetuity. That's a legal word, which means forever.
I know, it's mad, isn't it?
And I mean, you know, we've seen some of the headlines of people signing away their life for 150K and whatever else.
But that's the problem that I've got. Because we have this conversation and everything, in terms of the contracts and whatnot, right? Just before we go back to the women. You know, when I see some of these people and you see, you know, all the record labels coming in and everything, it's amazing. It helps the culture to get publicized to the world and everything. But I'm also looking at what sort of contracts are some of these artists signing. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna mention names. I saw an interview. He's a big artist right now. He's a big artist, so he's doing well for himself. But this was when he was coming up, right? He was like, yo, I've been trying to get this person's attention, or whatever the case is, right? And then one day that person said to him, hey, come to the studio, right? So he got to the studio. The person literally just gave him the contract, right? And told him, take this contract home, speak to your lawyer, whatever the case is, see where you go, and come back the next day, right? And this artist said, oh, I don't want to speak to anybody. I just want to sign this contract right now. I just want to sign this contract right now. Blah, blah, blah. I need this. You get what I mean? And at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, boy, you are lucky that who you signed to is a good person.
He's a good person.
Because we've not heard any contract issues with this particular person. But how can you even say that you don't want to read the contract? You just want to sign it.
Education.
You don't even know what's in this contract.
Education.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think we often forget that a lot of the artists that have blown up have come from poverty.
Yes.
Right? And so even somebody offering them 60K in their first year,
they've never seen that in their life.
They've never imagined that amount of money. Now, it doesn't matter that the label could make $1 million off of them because they haven't even thought that they could make $1 million on themselves. All they're hearing is the instant gratification. They're thinking about their mum, their brother, their sister, the hospital bills, the school fees that are outstanding. And they're thinking about the immediate need that they need to alleviate with that 60K. So it doesn't matter that they can make 5 times as much because in the moment...
So they are not even thinking about the future, what they could potentially make in the next 5 years. They are thinking about it now.
And the joke is when I have these conversations online in person, even a label putting 60K into you is a risk on themselves because they have no guarantee that you will blow.
You're going to make it.
And if we think about the different local labels or even international labels, I tweeted maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm really loving Twitter right now.
I know. I'm loving X as well.
But literally it said that I believe, if I'm remembering this correctly, only 1% of people that sign actually get to release their first project.
That's crazy.
Meaning that 99% don't. And again, I will hopefully send you guys a link so that you can reference it somewhere so that people can check out the research for themselves. But if that's the case, you're even thinking that, okay, if I'm in the 1% enough to even get the funds, then I need to use it immediately.
Absolutely.
You're not thinking that I might get a Pepsi deal because, you know, Pepsi is one of the biggest brand collaborations that happen in Nigeria. You're not even thinking about the fact that you might sell your publishing. You're not thinking that you might actually get to #1 without stream farming. You're thinking that I have bills, I have family to look after. This is guaranteed immediate money. I'll think about the future when I get there.
If I walk away,
and I think one of the things that
get this opportunity ever
again. And poverty gives you a mentality of I might not even live to tomorrow, so let me spend it today. Which is why you see people buying cars that they really can't afford, buying houses that they can't afford.
They just want to enjoy it
in the moment. And if I cast, but
that's
for
it.
now, I'm going to enjoy it. And it shows itself up in everything. From, like I said, thinking about your pension fund, which in music is like publishing, thinking about, you know, music or money, that will make music, that will make money for you in the future. They're not thinking about that.
Nobody's thinking about today. So is it unfair? Is it unfair to kind of look at some of these artists, especially the ones that come from poverty, that have never had this opportunity before and now they're here? Is it unfair to look at them and be like, yo, you should have looked at the contract though? Or is it on the labels to do the right thing?
No. So I'm going to be very maybe unpopular with this opinion, but a label is a business. They're looking at their profit and loss, their bottom line. it is your responsibility as an artist to equip yourself with management that is knowledgeable and a lawyer that is specialized in entertainment and music.
So how about
Their job is to make money. That's it.
So how about if, but now this is what I'm going to. How about if this guy cannot afford a lawyer?
There are some sacrifices and investment you have to make in yourself. If you know, and actually it's a conflict of interest. If a label says, okay, we'll give you a lawyer.
But the lawyer's working for the label.
They will tell you all of the things you want to hear and not tell you anything.
I feel like if you found yourself at that table to start with, bro, you need to sacrifice some more money to get a lawyer to get management to look into that before you put any pen on paper.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, you can actually do something where you can get some of your advance in advance.
Yeah.
So if you say to them, okay, I'm actually going to take 2K or 3K or whatever, or even if you don't even get there, ask the friends and family around you. Let them put the money in. It will cost you more in the long run to not get into the detail.
Absolutely. But then at the same time as well, I also think this helps as well. When you've built your fan base and you can get into the room with some form of clout, it also helps as well.
You know what? I want us to believe that, and it's true. You can demand more when you have proven that you are a viable product or brand to invest into.
Yeah.
However, even at that point, you have to do due diligence. No one is going to look after you the way you look after yourself. It's not the label's responsibility. They are there to invest into you and to get money out, to get profits out. They're not there because they necessarily believe in you.
It's their business.
Exactly. They're not there because they necessarily see you as a household name in 5 years or 10 years. They are there to make the most of what they can in the time that they have with you.
Yeah.
And so in their interest, it actually works if the contract is favorable to them. Because they make more money. So you have to go in with the same mentality and think, okay, what is going to be favorable for me?
Yeah.
And that's just it.
I think we are in the first generation of artists signing big contracts, right?
I don't know. P Square really did their thing.
P Square back in there was cool. But I don't think P Square was seeing the kind of money that these boys are seeing right now.
I would challenge you and actually say that maybe some of the artists that are really blowing now aren't making as much money as you think they are.
So what money are they blowing?
Ooh.
I will say across the board though, in terms of like show money, a lot of the guys that are in the UK Afrobeats top 20 right now are charging anything from $20,000 a show to $150,000 a show. So yes.
Back in the day, artists were
they were taking like
internationally. Let me just put the caveat here, right?
Right.
They're not necessarily charging that locally because obviously of the conversion, but the fact that there is demand outside of Africa now means that there are shows that have those budgets outside of Africa that are able to pay the out of Africa money. Locally, it's still, I mean, D'banj and P Square are still charging whatever you think the big guys are charging.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying, listen.
What, even back home?
At home, yeah, they are.
No. P Square is P Square. P Square is one of the, when you're talking about from the older generation, if you're looking at P Square.
I will even tell you that Ice Prince, Ianya, and all of the guys that you still count as maybe OG status or whatever.
Are still.
They're locally, they're charging neck to neck.
Yeah.
They are.
Is it?
They are.
I mean,
because locally the budgets are the same. It's outside that the festivals have the money.
It's outside the country. Yeah.
And again, I love the fact that Rema has calmed down with Selena Gomez. I love that CK has loved my TT. But the figures that I've just said is the bracket for almost everyone that has gone TikTok viral.
Oh, they are eating.
The difference is the volume of shows.
Okay. Some
and
people are busier than some.
And we know that Wizkid said that he got 1 million for Rolling Loud last year, I believe. And I know that we have said that Burna Boy, I won't even quote his figures. I don't know if that is public.
Listen, I saw some figures. I was like, what the hell? For real?
But I think what's happening now is that people are more transparent even with the fees.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in the same way that Jazz was, in fact, let me not even go to that. No, let me say it. In the same way that Jazz was sponsored by the Mafia, in the same way that hip hop was sponsored by drug cartels, in the same way that Afrobeats has been sponsored by Yahoo Boys, there has been G-Boy money for a long time.
For a very long time.
And these artists have been eating well for a very long time.
For a very long time.
The difference now is, one, we are more open and transparent with what fees are being paid. But two, there are more international opportunities, which means that these opportunities are coming more frequently.
Absolutely.
The fees have been the fees, though.
Yeah.
And those fees have been healthy for a
long time.
a while.
Yeah, some of these boys are eating.
And 18 well,
Not for you.
do you think that they're building their houses in Anambra and wherever else out of what?
Just out of bro.
Agriculture
I don't know if
money.
it's so. Fam, I don't know if it's so. With this one, I'm not gonna lie, shocked me. Not that because I don't respect him and everything. He's an OG. Phyno. I saw something that Phyno bought a whole estate.
Yep.
A whole estate.
A whole estate. Not apartment building. The whole estate, bro.
And there were, I think, like 12 to 16 houses. I
Yeah,
think.
something like that.
He's an able man now.
What?
What do you expect?
Phyno.
Phyno.
I mean, Phyno is
Fam,
big.
he bought a whole estate and then at the same time bought some NASCAR for, I think, his manager and for himself. Like, I was like thinking, because you don't really, well, I might be wrong, but over here, you don't really hear that he's here, he's
not
doing all
like
these
that.
shows and
Yeah,
everything.
that's why
Over
when
here,
you said
though.
Phyno,
That's
I was
over here,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, makes
But
sense.
he's busy back home and in Africa.
Yeah, locally, Olamide and Phyno are neck to neck. Whereas on
Yes.
this side, Olamide has a bigger presence. And in his defense or our defense, we have a stronger Yoruba diaspora here.
Yes.
Whereas
So
the
you're saying-
Igbo
you're-
diaspora is in America. So Olamide seems bigger here because there's more
Yeah.
Yoruba people here.
But you're
at
saying back home,
they're
they're like
neck
neck to neck. Olamide and Phyno
Last
are like...
December,
yes,
sorry,
yes,
the
yes,
December
yes.
before, I was at a joint concert with them and people were screaming Phyno songs
Yeah.
as loudly as they were screaming Olamide
Yeah.
songs.
Phyno is that guy. He's that guy. He is that
And
guy.
okay, Olamide has been able to maintain relevance with YBNL, Asha Care, Fireboy, etc.
That also
And
helps as well.
His flowers are well deserved. And obviously he's had a couple albums. I mean, he's dropped an album actually every
Yeah.
year for the last 2-3 years. And maybe
Yeah.
Phyno hasn't had that same frequency. But right now, Phyno is on, viral on TikTok with Do I Look Like I Give Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his pockets. He's in and out.
He's in and out and everything. Nah,
And he's just had a baby. So he's also been away from the scene for a bit.
True. Do you think, because I was having this conversation the other day, part of the reason, just back to the whole women conversation, right?
Yes.
It hurts me personally that when I look at people like Tiwa, I think Tiwa at this status should be selling out the O2 like some of these guys. Which is the reason why I said, right? I think we still have a long way to go when it comes to supporting and championing the female artists.
Artist.
You know what I will
100%.
say? I will
Tiwa
say,
is a legend.
no, this November, Afrobeats enjoyers are spoilt for choice. At the Wembley, we have Adekunle Gold, we have Kiss Daniel, but we also have Tiwa Savage. And then we also have a smaller show with Ira Star at Cafe Coco, and then we have Rema at the O2. What I will say about women in the industry is Tiwa really dominated with Maven, right? She was the first to really break out and give us that sexy look. She was different from YJ. She was different from the women that had come before her. I think what's happened as her career has evolved is maybe as the Beyonce of Africa, we can call her that. Maybe it hasn't always translated. So, lately she's been really giving us that tomboy look. And, in between, I feel for her because I feel like labels like Universal came to the continent with all the hopes and dreams of really pushing artists. And, she's really gone through it. She's been with...
Yeah, of course.
was it Def Jam? Was she with Def Jam?
She was with Def Jam at some point.
And then before she was at Universal,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the changing of hands. Some of these international majors don't.
And I think she was with Rock Nation as well.
Sorry, it was Rock Nation. It
Rock
wasn't Def
Nation,
Jam.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
Rock Nation.
Rock Nation.
I think that some of these international majors don't really understand Afrobeats.
No,
so the way they market other releases isn't the way they should market local releases.
Afrobeat
And I
artists, yeah.
think she has suffered with that. I loved the is it Water and Gary project? The biggest song from that was Somebody Song with Brandy. Great A&R, great
Amazing,
song.
amazing.
But that was the only song to drop from that project. And they really pushed the Amare track, but it didn't enter.
Yeah.
And so I think what's happening with these international majors, and this is just me, it's not just specific to Tiwa, it's a trend I'm seeing across the board, is one, these artists want to sign with these international majors because they've got the money and you need the investment.
Yeah.
But two, they also have the A&Rs, and these guys are thinking, okay, I want to collab with someone in the US, UK, so that I can spread my tentacles and get that international reach. But what happens is you're losing the local market because the sound is too foreign, but then you're not foreign enough for the market you're trying to enter into.
It's a tough one. It's a very tough one.
Every market, I mean, UK and US inclusive, they're very, what do I want to call it? And it's not xenophobic. Maybe it's homogeneic. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. But they would rather listen to an R&B artist from the US than an R&B from Nigeria
else, yeah.
because they just will gravitate to what's familiar to them.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, a lot of artists are falling into this weird gap where they're trying to be international and it's not hitting. And actually, what's
But
working?
the male artists are penetrating.
Let
though.
me tell you though, the male artists are penetrating with sounds that sound local. Peru sounds local. Before you got Ed Sheeran on it, that's an Afrobeat song.
Yeah.
Love Naughty C, even just by the title, is an Afrobeat song. Kulosa Oxlade is an Afrobeat song. A lot of the songs that, in fact, Goye Meno, you want to bamba, you want to chill with the songs that are crossing over No Wahala, Wonder Banton, I could go on at Jackie. The songs that blow, My Mind Day for You. These songs are Afrobeat songs that sound like Afrobeat songs. Whenever an artist tries to make a song that sounds international, it doesn't
hit.
enter the way they think it will.
It's gonna enter.
And at one point, that is what they was trying to do. You know, that is what many Afrobeat artists were trying to do.
And let me tell you,
some are still trying to do it now.
they're still doing it. As someone who is on, who works with the Grammys, a lot of the criteria even with these awards is it 51% authentic African? And a lot of the artists that feel like that they're going to be in that nomination pool are missing out purely because they're using R&B beats. They're not using our local lamba. They're not singing in the native tongue. And that's just an example of how you're alienating the local market, not enough for the foreign market, and you're in this weird gap where nobody knows what to do with you.
Wow.
And again, unfortunately, I love Tiwa. I'm so happy that she got to perform for King Charles at the coronation. She's making so many strides, but unfortunately, I think she's one of these artists that has fallen into this gap where she's British. She grew up here. She relocated back home, but she just, in her most recent years, she just hasn't.
She's
found
gonna stop there.
her niche.
Yeah.
And you're right. The guys have been doing O2 since like 2019.
Yeah.
She should definitely be there.
She has the hits and everything. She has
She
the
does.
songs. She has the songs and everything. I just don't know because when I look at her and obviously we have this conversation all the time. I said there is just something that is just not right because if there's one person, I love her. I always struggle with this woman's name. I don't know if it's Asha or Aisha.
Asha. Yeah.
I love
Asha.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's one person that I want to speak to. She's on my list up there. I love her so much. I love Asha. And these people, listen.
But you know the difference? People like Asha, people like Lady Donnelly, they know their market is foreign. Yes, they have a local market, the Altair market.
Yeah.
But Asha has consistently been selling out Royal Albert Hall.
Easy,
and when you go to these events, it's 50% white people, non-Nigerians.
Yeah.
So I think it's also about understanding who you are, the sound you make, and who your market is. I would love Tiwa to just rest in her OG status, continue doing legacy stuff, do a residency, tour around as the African bad girl that we know you are. But I also think, and this is me being honest, ageism plays into it. People know her real age. A lot of people are out here flexing with their stage age.
Of course.
So knowing that she's 41, 42 and a mother, that's definitely played into it. I know that people say, but Kim Kardashian, she's the mother of 4, she's the same age.
But that's different.
It's not the same. Africans are very conservative. They look at you as a mother and they say, you should be doing wifely things.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have your ass out.
I hate that shit. I hate that.
It plays, the fact that Kiss
plays a
Daniel
part.
had Booger, which was a hit with the aunties and uncles, is an anomaly. We don't have that happen all the time.
No.
And so unfortunately, Tiwa is trying to engage with the
younger crowd.
Yeah, with the era that see her as an auntie.
Yeah.
Then you have her age mates thinking that maybe she should be doing more mature content. And again, she's just fallen into this gap where it's just
She just kind of stop between the rock kind of hard place.
Right.
She's gonna stop it in hard.
But I can imagine how difficult that would feel. Like,
yeah, of course.
You're competing with Ira,
course.
Ira Star is 20, 21. Tems is 20, between 26 and 28. I can't quite remember. These girls can go on the stage and shake their ass in a handkerchief skirt because that's age appropriate for them. She will do the same thing and she gets villainized.
Even they are still killing them girls as well. Not to talk about you. I think it's just the mindset. Just like you said. The African fans. A lot of them are still very conservative in it.
We're conservative and we're ageist.
Yeah.
And we're sexist. We can't ignore the fact that, her having the tape, and I'm so glad she addressed it in Loaded with Asha Care.
Who cares about the tape?
Bro, people do. But people do.
She lost deals because of it.
Are you serious?
She lost endorsements. Yeah, she had a hot chocolate deal with her son. I forget the name of the brand. I'm not trying to give them exposure anyway. And she lost that deal.
That's
because of
stupid.
it.
Bro, don't be surprised. I mean, this is Africa we're still talking about. Like I think we spoke about this. A sex tape is a big thing. Like, it's a big thing back home. It might not be here, but it is still a big thing.
It's still a big
back
thing
there.
here. If you were dating Tiwa or you were representing Tiwa, I mean, it's not like when, who's the model? Kate Bush, when she had her cocaine scandal and she was able to bounce back. Let's not also forget that the color thing is very,
it plays a role.
There's a spot for black women and there are many people competing for that spot. So once she's fallen out of grace, they'll replace her with the next one.
Replacing everything. You know what I mean? And the new girl right now is Tems and all that. You know, she is running away with you and all that. Do you think she has a lot of pressure?
Of course.
On her.
Of course.
For that first
Too
album.
much pressure.
You know what? I think the first album was actually supposed to drop this year and it's been delayed for a couple of reasons, which I'm not at liberty to speak about.
Cool.
But I think it's not just pressure. I mean, she just performed in Australia and people, like, the comments are divided. Oh, she looks so stiff. Ira would never. Tiwa would never. But her vocals are so unique. Oh. How many people can say that they've written for Rihanna, that they were one of the music directors for the Black Panther soundtrack? How many people can say that they were
Wizkid,
actually
with Drake,
not just
with
Wizkid,
Future.
not just, but like you've been molded by SDC, who are pioneers. Like, she's doing it right. Her publishing is lit, her sync is lit, her licensing is lit. So even if it's taken her 2 years since her last project. Even if she doesn't drop another project for another year, she has set up her catalog in a way where she'll be eating
forever,
for decades to come.
Yeah.
And that's more than having a hit or being flavor of the month. She set up herself. And, you know, I love the fact that America is embracing her and loving her right now. Especially because Nigeria they didn't care for a while. They didn't really fuck with her. And listen, I tell people this. I was surprised. I love Tems. I bang her music all the time. But I was surprised. I was speaking to somebody in Nigeria and we were having this hot debate on the phone about Tems. I said, yo, Tems is that girl. My man was looking at me like I was speaking Spanish. He was looking at me like I was speaking French. He was thinking, nobody. We don't care about Tems here.
Not like that.
I said, what? I was calling songs Free Mind. I was calling, you get me? He wasn't hearing it, you know? But I think that kind of dawned on me because she is more into the whole R&B type thing. You get me? And
there
the way
is
she has
R&B market in Nigeria though, but I think when it dawned on me was, every December we have our shows.
Yeah.
So Live Spot put on a night for her. And I was shocked because P Square was like sold out. All of the other artists were sold out. And she had a good turnout, but she wasn't, sold out.
As other people, yeah.
And I was just like, okay, I get it. Her market is out. But like I said, once you understand your market, go for your market.
Go for it. Yeah.
Her market is here.
Yeah.
CK is not doing mad shows in Nigeria. His market is outside. Oxlade is not doing mad shows in Nigeria. His market is outside. I can name like 10 or 15 artists that just because they're Nigerian doesn't mean that the market needs to be Nigeria.
No. And she recognized her market early on. Very well. And that really helped her.
I can say the same for Ghanaian artists as well. I mean, Stonebwoy
King Promise
knows...
and all that, yeah.
King Promise obviously has been viral with Terminator and Kiddy and Kwame. Well, Kiddy's been sick and Kwame, has been in and out. But, I mean, people like Jackie signed to Sony UK because she knew that her market was outside.
Yeah.
The guys that are signed into Empire, market is outside.
But you know what? It's so funny because when I look at that, some of these artists talking about shows in Nigeria and everything, we always debate this. When I look at some of the money that these guys are taking and the exposure, the production when it comes to these shows and all that, I think Africa is still way behind. Because it's going to be very hard for some of these artists to perform in London, America, and everything with this high class production. And then you're going back home and they are telling you, yo, this is what we have.
Yeah, but with the current emergence of Afrobeats, bro, it's only a matter of time until we catch up to all of this.
You think so?
Yeah. Bro, when money starts getting pumped into it more, which I hope it would.
It's just investment.
It's just investment, but that's where the problem is though. You get me?
You know what? We have
nobody's looking to... They don't want to invest.
We have a lack of music venues in Lagos. Let me speak for Lagos. And I can actually speak for Accra as well, in terms of like big capacity venues that have great lighting, great sound, great parking. We have a lack of that. And if you can say that, okay, we can only name 5. But then you think about London, you think, okay, well, London only really has 5. We have like O2 Islington, we have O2 Brixton. Well, you know, Brixton is in the balance right now. We have Outernet. We can maybe name 5 to 10. If these other cities only have max of 5, where do you want them to go from? How many times we will do Echo Hotel? How many times we do Labadi Beach? How many times? You know, and so I think it's outside of the lack of venues. I think recording artists and performing artists are 2 very different disciplines, and to master one and not master the other kind of shows where your head is at. So a lot of artists that are great recording artists but cannot perform live, and show money is actually sometimes more profitable than streaming money, which is why you have artists that go on tour every single year. They drop a project, tour for the year, drop another project, tour for the... Burna Boy is one of the artists that does that very, very well. But we know that he's the best performer in Afrobeats. His stamina is crazy. His band is crazy. Shout out to the Outsiders. He'll have the choir. They're crazy. He'll have the graphics. Every time I've seen him...
package.
Do you get... In the last 3 years, I've seen all of his shows. He came out of a gorilla's mouth. He came out of a spaceship. He came out of a Ferris wheel or merry-go-rounds.
She said merry-go-round.
I've not heard
that. Merry-go-round.
But that is somebody that has studied performance and gets it. He can perform.
He's a student of the game.
With in-ears, without in-ears. With wedge, without wedge. Wedge is like the on-stage speaker. He gets it.
He gets it.
Other artists haven't invested in their craft enough to get to that point.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you think about his new album?
I told them. I saw. You know what? Let me be very.
That was a long pause.
Yeah. Okay. Because I want to pick my words. I love Burna Boy. Let's start with that. When he dropped his merch with Boohoo, I bought the whole collection. I have the tracksuit, I have the t-shirt.
Oh, you
everything.
did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Say, look, when Rema dropped his, when David dropped his, if they don't want to send it to me as per culture custodian, I'll buy it myself.
You'll buy it yourself.
I said at the start, I will support you regardless of whether you support me back. But with Burna, I think some of the critique online was a bit harsh. I think some of the reviews were a bit harsh off the back of his statements around Afrobeats not having substance. Is it my favorite Burna Boy album? No. Do I love Giza with Show You Vibes? 100%.
Wait, before you go on, so what is your favorite Burna Boy album? If not, I told you.
I told them. I'm an OG fan, innit? I love songs like Tonight, Socket. Outside might be my favorite album. It's not, I mean, everybody else will say African Giant and everything. I was a fan from before then.
Yeah.
Wow, that is refreshing to hear.
OG.
Listen, it keeps on changing for me.
However, I told them isn't my favorite for now. Maybe I need, but you know what? I went to his live show at the Roundhouse in Camden, and some of the songs, hearing them live, I was like, oh my.
Listen,
that song bangs, but it's not my favorite right now.
I missed that show. I was so pissed.
It was great.
Because we were supposed to go. The tickets sold out like that.
Yeah, I was fortunate
of course.
To get a press ticket.
Of course.
And then I ended up reviewing it on the timeline, which is why I got the press ticket. And, you know, all of the videos, you know, did their thing, made their rounds. But yeah, not my favorite Burna Boy album. But I love Giza. I love City Boys. I love the fact though that every project he's able to platform a street artist. So, you know, we were able to get the spotlight on Zlatan with Killing Them. This time he's on Giza with Show You Vibes. I love that he wants to maintain his street persona, so he taps into the street, but also platforms. If you look at Show You Vibes monthly listeners now, they've shot up.
Of course.
Just from association, just from the feature.
Of course.
And I love that he isn't always as deliberate with, you know, creating, I don't want to say a legacy, but, you know, you can see someone like Wiz and say that he's put on LAX, he's put on Starboy Terry, and you can, you know, name a few.
Yeah.
You can say Olamide, you can name all of them, Adekunle, whatever, Lil Kesh. You can say Davido, you can name them. Burna Boy hasn't had that legacy just yet, but the way he's doing it is by collaborating with
different
local artists and letting people find them for themselves. And I love it.
For themselves. And a lot of people don't talk about this a lot, but what he did for Ashake as well with Sumba.
Yeah.
What he did for
So there was a whole running joke at the time that Olamide paid Burna Boy big money. Burna Boy was like, oh, I better get this, that, or whatever. And now there's no show that Burna Boy does that he doesn't do Sungba.
Oh yeah.
Tell me what you see when you look at me. Sungba like that. Yeah. My problem is that too savvy. Yeah. Hey. The words are Pop Molly for the pool party. You better get the lyrics.
I know. I'm trying.
Not advocating.
Is that what he actually said?
Yeah, Pop
Molly.
For the pool party.
For the pool party. So that's the Molly he's chatting about.
Yeah, I got that. Oh yeah, Jack Bata. Yeah. But and you know it works for him as well because it maintains his relevance.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I said Zlatan. I completely skipped Ashake. So Zlatan was year before. Ashake was last year. Shay Vibes is this year.
Yeah.
I wonder who's gonna pick for next year.
Yeah.
Because you know he always drops an album in the summer and then tours with it. But
you know what? So happy that we're highlighting this right now. Right. I'm happy that we're highlighting this now because one of the criticisms that he got when he did this show in London, right, the one that he did at the stadium, was that, he did not platform any Afrobeat artists because if you remember, he brought out Dave, J. Huss.
J. Huss was there.
This guy from, this artist from the Caribbean, from Jamaica. What's his name again? His name just went on my head.
was it Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Yeah, I think it's just the three of them. I think so. But a lot of people are talking about, he didn't bring out no Afrobeat artists. And I was thinking, one, he doesn't have to. Two, he is representing for Africa. Yes, this guy's obviously grew up here and everything. But then at the same time, he's representing for Africa and the Caribbean as well. Because Burna Boy, to me, he strikes me like Drake. Drake is not just a hip-hop artist now. If you get what I'm saying. If you look at his last album was, not the one with 21 Savage. The one before that was like the whole house music type thing. And if you look at his album, he does this song for R&B, he does this one for rap, he does it. You get what I mean? Like, to me, that's who Burna Boy is right now. Yes, you can look at him as a Afrobeat / Afrofusion, whichever one you want to call him, right? But he is representing for Africa now. If that makes sense. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But he got that criticism and everything. But when you now look at the course of his career, what he's done for Shay Vibes, what he's done for Ashake, what he's done to Buju, like he's helped this artist come up and everything. And some of these artists, who knows where their career is going to be if it wasn't for this.
Yeah, I think the responsibility on him is slightly elevated because he's called himself the African giant. So in turn, we've called him the African giant. So people have put a lot more responsibility on him.
Thank you very
with
much.
regards to what he should do for the culture.
Fair or
and I
unfair though?
Yep. Fair and unfair, but then, I mean, you've put yourself up on that pedestal.
Yeah, but some of the criticism that he's getting, I don't know if you paid attention with the politics in Nigeria. He got a lot of backlash because of that. And
so,
it's not fair.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to have the anniversary of the Lekki Tollgate massacre.
Yes.
And the fact that, he put out 20th of October 2020 as an actual track was also off the back of the African giant wave where, he educated a lot of people about the Unilever situation in Nigeria on African giant. I think what's happened is people have seen him as maybe, I don't want to say abusing, but using the culture to kind of spread his visibility and awareness as an advocate for Africa. But then when Africans felt like they really needed him, they didn't feel like he was there. And then you have episodes of, in December when he came really late to the concert and there was allegations of him, stepping on someone or kicking someone in the face with his boot. Then, you talk about him crashing his Ferrari in Lekki. I mean, he says it in his song. Or, the allegations of him or his boys shooting. I think a lot of that gets magnified because now you've said that you are an advocate or a custodian for us. We put you on a pedestal. We treat you like a king, on our guy, chief, like we're expecting you.
Odogu,
in fact, you called yourself Odogu. And we expect you to embody the persona that you have told us you are. And I think, one, council culture is crazy. So I don't subscribe to that. But two, I think there is a responsibility if you then say that this is who you are, that you kind of have to live up to it. Where Olamide doesn't talk about himself, his Legion speak for him.
Yeah.
The people that have come up after him and benefited from him speak for him. Same as David. You know, people don't necessarily have that account or testimony for Wiz or for Burna. The thing that I've learned, because I used to be in that camp and be like, well, how can you say you're this when you haven't done that? Is that they have contributed to the community and to the culture and to the movement differently. Burna's like one of the only people that has performed on Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
That's crazy.
Afrobeats never had a place on late night American TV ever.
Yeah.
He's one of the only people that, like, in fact, I went bowling over the weekend and the only Afrobeat songs they played were Burna and Mahalia, Burna and Georgia Smith, Burna and Stormzy and Ed Sheeran. It was just Burna.
That's crazy.
Even though Unavailable was doing
he's
crazy
out of
numbers,
here.
right?
He's gone. He's
but
gone.
But he's embedded himself into UK culture and then embedded himself into American culture.
Right
and
now,
he is the face of Afrobeats for so many people that even though he hasn't necessarily built his legacy in the same way some of the other names have, he's done it in a completely different way that is unique to him. And you know, you just mentioned about how do we export local talent if they can't perform on international stages. He set the bar as to what performance looks like.
Listen, it's not even close. It's not even close. We interviewed his sound engineer. You know, shout out to Tolu. You know, and he was explaining some of these things. Even the one in Lagos that happened, the one that he turned up late and everything. You know, and he explained in details what happened. And me, I'm all for constructive criticism when it comes to an artist and everything. If they've done something wrong, you say, okay. But then also we gotta be fair and all that, you know. And some of the hates that he gets, you know, is part of this whole camp mentality, this whole FC camp and 30BG camp and outside. You get what I mean? All those kind of things. And sometimes I think it kind of goes overboard. But then, just like you just mentioned and everything, he has successfully moved his brand. Not moved his brand, but his brand has crossed over.
Facts. Let me tell you something. He sold out the Hollywood Bowl as the first African artist to do that on the West Coast.
That's crazy.
Right? He sold out Madison Square Garden as the only African to do it, or one of the first Africans to do it on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing he hasn't done, I think, is Middle Belt Christian America. Otherwise, besides that, he's on all the coasts. He's done Europe. He's done UK. He's done Africa.
Yeah.
You know, he was the only artist to have a solo track on Beyonce's album with Jara, right?
That's mad. That's
on
mad.
The Gift.
That's mad. That's
like
mad.
when we're thinking about the Black Panther soundtrack, Alone is like the only song that we remember. Memories. Yeah, do you get it? Carry me, go.
Oh.
Well, Toby, see, the thing is, the bigger you get,
of course,
the more people are gonna talk. Even when you commit the slightest little offense, people. It's always been like that with the bigger artists. Michael Jack, name them. The bigger you get, the more people talk. And the more people keep watching.
No, bro. I definitely do. I agree with you. But the way he's moving and everything, yeah. If Afrobeats ever gonna get to that place where we perform at the Super Bowl, which I think is gonna be a long time.
I don't think it's gonna be that long.
Shit, I think it will.
Davido just closed the World Cup.
That's the World Cup.
But bro,
sorry, let me finish.
Okay,
we get there though,
Boy's,
you know.
Yeah, Burna Boy's done. In fact, last NBA.
Yes, halftime
Burna
show.
Boy. It was Burna Boy, Rema, and Tems.
Yes.
Burna Boy has also done, I believe, the UEFA closing ceremony. It was a football.
UEFA.
Thank you. UEFA. Thank you.
Yes, the UEFA Champions
League, isn't it?
Right. And also, don't forget, I've just told you that Rock Nation is the Apple Music partner in charge of booking. So even if it's not just Burna, I feel like in the next, God willing, 2 to 3 years, we will have an Afrobeats halftime show. And if it's one person, it will be Burna. But if it's a collection, he will definitely be there too.
Yeah, no. I think he will probably be the first Afrobeats, Afrofusion artist to be on that stage. But I think we'll probably still have a long way to go because you're
3
looking
years.
at...
You know,
3 years.
when we spoke about it before,
Yeah.
can't remember when it was, a couple of months ago, I said the same thing that you said. But bro, looking at it now, bro, the way the genre has grown and it's still growing right now, it's like the acceptance is overflowing.
Yes.
And let me tell you something.
understand,
I'm going to
but
cut
then
in.
okay, go on.
So globalization being TikTok means that we are in the palm of our hands, right?
Yes.
People in Japan, people in Malaysia, they're in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
transported within 1 second, right? The way to get on the Super Bowl and all of these like major platforms is to become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is the definition of mainstream is changing because there was a point where media was only focused on channels 1 through 4. Right? Media was only covered by like what's on the front page. Now media can be anything. And Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they will TikTok something, then YouTube something before they Google it. Meaning the definition of mainstream is changing. I 100% guarantee with the right investment, the right ownership, that 3 years Afrobeats will be at the halftime show. And why I say
so.
that is because even the definition of black music is changing. Before, it just used to be hip hop. And as I was speaking to Audio Mac a couple months ago, in the UK, Afrobeats listeners have surpassed hip hop listeners for the first time in history.
Wow.
In
That's
history.
crazy.
Well, in their recorded history.
Yeah.
But my point is, if the definition of black music is evolving and becoming more inclusive to not just black American music,
Hip-hop,
but black music in general,
Yeah.
once we become absorbed into the mainstream culture, all it takes is for us to consistently have the Justin Bieber features, the Selena Gomez features, the Ed Sheeran features.
Selena Gomez feature
and then
was crazy.
we get seen as mainstream. That's it. That's all it takes.
No, see, I listen. I wish, I pray that it happens. But the difference between the NBA and the NFL is the NBA has done a good job, right?
At being inclusive.
At being inclusive and marketing themselves outside of the United States.
Yeah.
Right? They have a lot of international players. The NFL is still a white America centric.
Yeah.
You get me? Now, yes, they are coming to the UK and everything. You get what I mean? But that's how I'm looking at it. But if there's one person who I think, is due to be on that stage and kill it, is Burna Boy.
Burna.
You know what?
I'm saying?
I'm going to remind all of us that for us, most of us only know Shakira from Hips Don't Lie, right?
Yes.
But obviously she's been doing her thing in the Latin market for
But the Latin market
decades.
is massive.
Right. And they have crazy numbers.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we also forget is we have crazy numbers too. The only thing putting us back is that Africa has an internet population of 40%, meaning 60% of people do not have access to internet.
Yeah.
Once Google and all these other IT corporations do what they say they're going to do and give us internet access, we are going to explode in literally, and it's going to be overnight. It's going to be overnight. And then we're already a hot market, but that's going to accelerate. And instead of us going to them for the features so that we can spread our market that way,
They'll come to us.
they're coming to us.
Yeah.
They've already started.
Absolutely.
Russ dropped an Afrobeat song without an Afrobeats feature, and people were like, what the heck is happening? How can an American artist do an Afrobeat song without an Afrobeats feature? Globalization.
Okay, guys. Let's move away from Afrobeats for a minute.
Go on.
Let's get back to you.
Oh,
Okay.
We'll
Yeah.
put the limelight back on you.
Of course.
You get me? So I've heard, I'm sure you've heard too, the name Gracey Mae.
Oh my gosh, Macy Gray.
Macy Gray. That's a
I
good
tried
one.
to say
Hey,
goodbye and I joked.
Hey,
Sorry, go on.
No, that's cool. It's
I
cool.
love that woman.
So your name has become associated with awarding bodies now.
Oh gosh. Pressure.
Pressure. But you know what? We gotta give this one some gunshots.
We need to give it. We need to give it.
Yeah.
We need to like when we hear Grammy Awards now, your name is connected to it somehow. When we hear Mobile Awards, your name is connected to it somehow. When we hear BET Awards, your name is connected to it somehow. I mean, there's more, but I'll leave it there.
All right.
How did you get into this, and how does it feel like being a part of awarding bodies?
It's amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Grammys is the one that I've worked with the most in terms of like consulting and helping. I'm actually part of what we call the recruitment group, where I actively recommend African music executives and musicians to become members of the Grammys. So in my first year at the Grammys, I helped 30 people get in. This year, I contributed to 50 people getting in.
Wow.
Just
How
me
many
as
years have you
myself.
been with them now?
Say that again.
How many years have you been with them now?
Officially I've only been a member officially for just over a year, but I was working with them before I became a member. And so to be able to say 80 people just through me in a space of just over a year is crazy.
That's crazy.
And my journey actually into the Grammys was completely random. They have a thing called Global Spin, where it's a segment where they shine the light on artists outside of America. And so I was, as a publicist, looking for opportunities for my artists to be on different stages to increase their visibility and awareness. And so there was an article about Global Spin. And so I saw Sean Thwaites' name, and he is the genre manager for Global. So the new award for Best African Performance is under Global. And previously we had 2 Global Awards, one for a single, one for an album. And so I DM'd him. And there's one thing about being a publicist, I'm shameless. So I found him on Instagram, DM'd him and said, I'm about to drop you an email. Wagwan.
Just like that.
Just like that. And, luckily my following is a bit healthy. So people will respond more than not respond. Yeah. So obviously we moved to email just to be official. And he was just like, oh, well, we're doing great things with Global in general. Let's have a chat. And I said it before. There's one thing about me. I will fams you.
Listen.
I have no shame.
Listen. You don't need no shame in this culture.
At all. And it wasn't even because I wanted anything from him, but he's from the Caribbean. He was just new to Afrobeats and African music in general. And so you've heard me talk now.
Listen.
I was just happy to just give him information.
That's it.
Not for anything in return. And it's so funny. 2+ years later, I haven't had any of my artists on Global Spin, but
we'll get there.
In Jesus' name, amen. But I have been able through him to become a Grammy, well, not through him, but been able to plug into the Grammys and then become a Grammy mentor. So I've had somebody assigned to me that I'm teaching them stuff. I've been able to be part of the recruitment team. I was part of the proposal committee, which then led to us having this award. So not a lot of people know the Grammys is a community-based organization. So any new award that comes about is based on a proposal. So a team of people will write a proposal, tell the Grammys why they need this category. It then goes through a couple of screening processes, and then they decide whether to have it or not have it. And we've been unsuccessful twice before. One round that I was involved in, one round I wasn't involved in, but they finally approved us this year.
Oh, great.
So, that's just a brief.
What category did they approve?
So it's called Best African Performance. And why it's called Performance is if it's just Best African Single, that award would have gone to the songwriters, where we actually wanted to award the singers or the rappers or whatever. So we still have the 2 global categories, so Best Global Album and Best Global Performance. But now we have Best African Performance, which is still under the global umbrella, but it's specific for the 54 countries.
Yeah, that's great.
There's been a lot of debate as to whether we've pigeonholed ourselves. What happens if an Asian person decides to make Afrobeats or an English person decides to submit under Afrobeats?
What happens,
and I just wanted to, I guess, address that now.
Okay, go on.
The committee that screen are all people that are of the culture.
Like who?
I can't name names.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't. Otherwise, these people will be paid off.
He got me like, I just threw out it to kind of see if I was going to get her. But good.
Good try. But the committee is people that are of the culture, that understand the music, and that aren't just going to let anybody through because they hear a 5-beat pattern or they hear something that kind of sounds like Fuji or kind of sounds like Amapiano.
Yeah.
It's people that understand the music and are actually evaluating it based on intent, percentages, but also like impact isn't something that we actually judge on, but also like is authenticity. So and the one thing that a lot of people obviously forget is right now the trending sound is Amapiano and Afro pop, but there's bongo flavor in the East. The Francophone guys have their thing. In Sudan there's a lot of like Arabic influenced music, and all of that is Africa. So also making sure that the category is super representative means that we have or that the Grammy has a broad spectrum of people on the board to make sure that it isn't one type of African sound that gets screened and gets approved. So
I think you just said something right now, intent, authenticity, and then it doesn't really have to be popular, right? Because I believe it was a couple years ago. Was it 2 years ago or thereabout? I've forgotten. This was when Essence was here, and I believe it was the Grammys or something, and everyone thought Essence was gonna win it, and I think it was Angelique Kidjo that won something. And I remember we had that conversation.
Yeah, we spoke about
and
that.
everyone was saying, bruh, I have never heard this song in my life. What the fuck happened, right? Essence is Essence, obviously. But then saying it right now, it kind of makes sense because when you look at, if you put both songs right now, which one is more authentic to its core?
Yeah.
Obviously.
So I can give you like, this is stuff that you can actually find online. So me saying it isn't a contradiction to me being part of the academy.
Yeah.
But each category has like its own guidelines and criteria. And when it comes to like the global or the African categories, there's a percentage that the song has to be authentically African for it to count. So there's a lot of songs even this year that were submitted but haven't reached the nomination pool because the calculation for best African is 51%. So if, for instance, they haven't got more than 51% dialect and native, or the sound itself is maybe too R&B or too hip hop and isn't actually based in any Afro genre, it's automatically discredited. Now, one thing that you have to know with the Grammys, as I mentioned, it's a community-based organization.
Yeah.
So you have to submit yourself for each category. So when people were talking about Essence saying, oh, they should have won best R&B or whatever, if the teams or the artists haven't submitted that song for that category, it won't get nominated. There aren't these fairies that are just looking online to see, okay, what song should we submit or nominate? Like, you have to do the initial step, and then the Grammys or the committee do the rest. Now, is it political? That's up to everyone to decide. However, for me, why I felt like we weren't getting representation was there weren't enough of us in the academy, which is why I said, okay, I want to be part of the recruitment drive. I want to make sure that there's enough of us inside, and I don't want to gatekeep the process, which is why I've got TikTok videos on how you can join and everything like that. Because for me, the more people that are in the academy that look like us, that understand the sound, one, the nominations will be fairer, and two, the winners will be more authentic. So a song like Last, right? The fact that it has a Toni Braxton feature, there was a lot of debate, sample. There was a lot of debate as to whether that was Afrobeats and whether, because he was, I guess, singing in pidgin, whether that outweighed the fact that it was an R&B base. Again, I can't tell you what the conversation was within the academy, but just you knowing that the percentage is 51%. Would you say 51% of Last is Afro?
I would say it wasn't.
So when he didn't win last year and somebody else won, in fact, the rumor is that he stormed out of the hall. You can understand why.
But is he expected to know all of this?
Yes. So maybe not him, but his team.
His
right?
team needs to
every time. So I've been part of the submission process 2 times now. It breaks it down. There are pamphlets, there's information, and obviously you're going to be a bit opportunistic. You submit yourself to as many awards as you think you're eligible for, but you also have to think that there will be some people in the academy, because remember, each category is voted by members. They're going to listen to it and judge it based on the criteria, but they're also going to base it on, do they know you? So there's another part of the academy, or another part of the process that nobody really speaks about. It's called FYC, for your consideration. So nominees are supposed to canvass and say, hey, you may have never heard of me, but I've dropped this song and I'm in for this category, and I think you should take a listen, so that even before you get to the voting process, you know me, you know my sound, you should vote for me. A lot of Afro artists that I have worked with or have worked around or been aware of haven't done the canvassing. They're just expecting people to know them, and then they get really surprised when people don't vote for them.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Interesting.
It's a bit like, we have a local MP or a local mayor that doesn't go door to door to hand out leaflets and then expects people to get to the ballot and vote for them. Possible.
No, it's not going to work.
No, it's not
going to work. It's not going to work. You know?
Yeah, that's a bit about the Grammys.
That is crazy, boy. That's a crazy. Like, I didn't realize the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes and everything. Obviously, that there are people that are sitting around the table and everything and just going through the music and everything. But then when you now think about, obviously, I'm not going to say maybe the information is there, but I've not done the research itself, so I didn't know, because I remember when that happened with the whole Wizkid thing, and I was one of the people that was like,
everyone was like,
what's going on?
Like, come on.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's quite interesting. But as someone that's on the inside and everything, I saw that you went to the Benson's listening party.
I did.
Obviously, the album is about to come out.
Yes, sincerely,
And
Benson.
tell me about
Obviously, you love Benson so much, so you need to know.
I love Benson, and I know that people are on my neck right now. Some of the viewers are on my neck because of how much I've spoken about Benson, and because we always had this conversation earlier, maybe last year thereabout. This was before Rema really took off, right? And Benson, I said, Benson, with the right money behind him, marketing behind him, I think he's that guy. I think because his sound is unique, his voice is unique. He's a great songwriter and everything. Like, he is dope, So I thought he was gonna. Obviously, he's getting there. But when you look at what Rema is doing right now,
Because you was comparing him to Rema.
Because I was saying that
he's better.
I said it. I said I think he's better than Rema. That was what I said. But hey, I cannot debate with what Rema is doing with Calm Down, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, my man did 1 billion streams.
But even before Calm
That is
Down,
Even
crazy.
before Calm Down,
Jimmy
he was
B,
Jimmy
Ginger
B.
Me.
Yeah.
He's had a long run of like high profile hits.
Yeah, you know, I like Rema because, listen, we've had... Kelly's not here. Kelly is a Rema fanboy, right? And I've never really... Obviously, he's great. His numbers is dope. Like, clearly, you can say it, but I just never understood the hype around Rema.
I love Rema.
Bro,
I love
the boy
Buju.
is
I love
good.
both
It's
of
as
them.
You know what I'm
simple as that.
saying?
The boy is good.
And people here try to debate, because we had this debate and everything. Feel free to chime in on it. You know, Calm Down, Essence, Last. In terms of impact, I'm not talking about numbers because numbers is not even close. Rema is killing it. But when you're talking about impact, I said, right, 1, 2 is Essence, Last. You can shuffle it however you want, and then Calm Down. In terms of impact, everyone said I'm tripping.
You're saying it as a millennial. Calm Down has ripped up all of social media.
Simple.
That's it. And right now, the guys that have the quote unquote spending power and disposable income is Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Yes, but,
So they are the calm down bandits.
And you cannot talk about impact and not talk about numbers. Bro, they come hand in hand.
No, I don't think so.
Bro, they do though. Because numbers make impact.
No,
They do.
no. A song can be very impactful, but not sell the most.
Yeah, but a song cannot be very impactful without enough numbers.
No, especially in this social media climate, right? A song can be, what's it called? Streaming friendly.
Yeah, if a song
Right?
is if people are streaming a song, it's making an impact. It's making some
bro.
sort of impact. Yeah, it is.
Listen, bro. If you, I remember.
What do you think? What is your
What do you
take
think?
on
Okay,
this?
I'm going to do a litmus test. Yeah, we'll have a good science test.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to give you the example of One Day Cole. Completely different. How many Instagram followers do you think he has based on his position in the industry?
One Cole, I'm not.
Let me just double check. I don't know.
No, don't check yet.
No, don't
just give a
check.
number and then I want you to check.
Okay,
I don't think he's got that many. I don't think he's got that many followers.
Based on
Maybe-
his hits, though, how many
Based
numbers
on-
do you think he should have? Instagram
Oh,
followers.
I think he should have
Yeah,
maybe.
because we're
at
talking about
least-
impact, right?
Yeah.
And he's impacted a generation with his sound.
Yes.
Oh, you go first. Go on.
Okay. Before I give my answer, I would just preface with this, right? Because he came out before social media.
Okay, go on.
You got me? He came out before social
But bearing
media.
in mind that somebody like Don Jazzy is on like 15 million.
Yes.
Someone like D'banj is also, even Pat Rankin is on 8.8 million. So his
Yes.
mates are also in the millions.
Yes, but now One Day Cole, he's a legend. He's done his thing, but he's not as active on social media as Don Jazzy.
Even though he just dropped a project called Legend or No Legend.
Yes.
Okay, so how many Instagram followers do you think he has?
It has maybe 2 million, 1.5.
Okay, but based on what you think he should have, based on his impact, it should be what?
It should be.
It should be more based on his impact, who he is. Maybe 5 million, 6 million followers.
Okay.
I would say based on his impact, it should be like 10 mil.
Yeah, facts. I would have gone with the 10
Yeah,
number.
yeah.
He's in the same ilk as Don Jazzy, D'banj, and all the names I just said. If you check, I believe he's on 1.6 million.
Yeah.
So if numbers are an indicator to impact with somebody like One Day Cole, I've just proved that it's not the case.
But that's what I'm saying.
However, the first statement you said was just epitomized everything, right?
What's that?
He was pre-socials. The 3 songs you've mentioned, Essence, Last, and Calm Down, have all been in the social
In the
media
social
era.
media era, yep.
Yes.
And that is giving it numbers.
But then also, Last was so impactful, right? That even people that couldn't speak a lick of English, right? Everybody, anywhere that you went to, you could literally feel Last. You could feel Essence. I don't think Calm Down. Yes, you hear it in the big whatever. Yes, you see the numbers, but
Bro.
I don't know, but the impact
You're a
of it-
millennial.
I feel like
You think so?
I feel like you're
Millennial.
speaking for yourself.
Yeah.
Nah, you're speaking.
Let me tell you just quickly, on the red
Strictly for
carpet,
yourself.
Vin Diesel, they asked him, what's your favorite song right now?
Calm Down.
And he said, Calm Down, that Rema song. He didn't say
Do you
Rema,
know what
Rema
impact?
song.
Do you know the sort of impact that is
Vin Diesel.
is giving?
Vin Diesel. I know.
Exactly.
And he said, it's because of my daughters. They've had it on repeat for the whole summer.
Bro, that is impactful, man. Now, Afrobeats is stuck in his head forever. Now he knows Rema. Knowing Rema is associated to Afrobeats and he's Nigerian. Bro, that is a massive impact
Whereas
for
also,
Afrobeats.
so one, Selena Gomez has a cult following. Which
Exactly.
Is crazy.
That helps.
But two, I also think that Last leverage the Tony Braxton nostalgia feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
People can listen to Last and actually not ever think of Afrobeats because it's more of an R&B song.
Yeah.
The same with Essence. Close your eyes. Don't think about anything else. If you listen to the song without knowing it's Wizkid and
my
Tems,
God.
it's more of an R&B track.
When you're
As
talking
much-
about perfect song,
Perfect song. Love it. I know it word for word. I know the version with Justin Bieber and without Justin Bieber. Calm Down, as nursery rhymish as it is.
Maybe-
is
maybe-
an Afrobeat
No, she's
song.
going- she's
maybe
going
that's the
somewhere.
reason
She's-
why I can't relate to
She's
it.
gone
other
somewhere.
two-
Maybe. No.
Maybe that's the reason why I
yeah.
can't
So
relate
much.
to it.
You hit the nail there.
Listen, bro. Listen to this.
Yeah, no.
This is-
But bro, I'm still sticking to what she said. She's nailed it. Bro, we're talking about Afrobeats here. And the impact these songs have made for Afrobeats in the global market.
Yeah. No. These three songs, listen. When you talk about impact, they've done their thing.
Yeah. When you hear Essence, I'm not getting Afrobeats vibes. I'm not.
I think I get it.
The fact that you're getting it because you know is an Afrobeat artist on it. That is what it is. When you hear Last, that Last, I would say is more a mix of R&B and Afro beats.
Without the vocals, it's pure R&B.
But without the vocals, it's pure R&B.
Yeah.
But when you hear Calm Down,
It's Afrobeats, yeah.
the beats, the vocals, everything is Afro beats. Even Selena couldn't change it. You get what I'm trying to say? So when we're talking about impact here, you need to put all of that into the context.
And if we're thinking about the impact on Afrobeats, the key word is Afro discovery. People will listen to Calm Down and then want to find music that sounds like Calm Down and go down this Afrobeats rabbit hole.
Right.
Doing that with Last and Essence won't give you the same thing because they give you R&B first, Afrobeats Lamba after.
Yeah.
The music itself sonically is not Afrobeats.
No, it's not.
I mean, we had Joe Budden even calling Wizkid a dancehall or reggae artist.
I know. Like whenever he says that, I just laugh.
Because, but if we close our eyes and we take Wizkid out of it, the delivery on some of the tracks, even the beat on some of the tracks, is not traditional Afrobeats.
No, it's not.
You can't listen to it and be like, okay, I can hear some High Life or I hear some Fuji or whatever. Like intrinsically, he is more R&B
Type thing.
lovers rock, which is a Caribbean genre leaning.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think about his last album?
More Love, Less Ego. Again, I was fortunate enough to hear him perform it at the Roundhouse before it dropped. And again, I think my initial introduction to it was it live. So then hearing the studio version, I had a different reaction. I think people are always going to compare it to Made in Lagos, which is a classic project. So More Love, Less Ego was always kind of set up for failure. If it wasn't going to be Made in Lagos levels, it was always not going to be as good. So the timeline will tell you it's a rubbish album. To me, Made in Lagos has more replay value. To me, Made It More Love, Less Ego sounded like Made in Lagos 2.0. And I find that a lot of artists, and this is not just to Wiz, but in general, they have this rinse and repeat effect where because it's worked one time, I'm now going to try and replicate that. Rinse and repeat. And I think for me, I wanted to hear Wizkid grow a little bit on More Love, Less Ego, and to me it didn't sound like growth, it sounded more like the same, which is why I personally haven't taken to it. But I also feel like the time it dropped, there was such a saturation of projects. We'd had a year of every Friday like 3 projects dropping. It didn't hit the quote-unquote international market
The way it was supposed to.
it wasn't even locally because we were tired of projects. It didn't really hit, and I really wanted the track with Ira to do what Essence did, right? I wanted Ira to get that global.
Listen, it's gonna be tough.
But
It's gonna be tough to replicate. It's gonna be tough to replicate Essence. And Essence is, oh my God,
God level.
it's God level, right? And I think is a gift and a cost for Wizkid.
And for Tems too.
You get me? And for Tems.
Maybe why she hasn't dropped in 2 years.
Because when you look at Wizkid, I love the last album. I love especially Frames. Frames is my tune. You get me? You know Frames?
I know Frames.
Oh my God, I love that tune. But I think what's happened is because of how great Essence is, right? A lot of people, if it's not sounding like Essence, it's just an automatically like flop.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And I don't think it's right. Because without Essence, I'm sure there are songs that people will listen to and be like, yo, that's a dope tune.
Yeah.
But because it's Essence, just like the 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying event, whole thing.
Album,
yeah. Because of how big that album was and also the single in it, fucking In the Club, right? He couldn't get that. There's no way you're going to be able to get that again. You get what I'm saying? So because of that, whatever song, no matter how great that song is, a lot of people will still say, "Oh no,
it's not as good as." Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's happening to Wizkid and everything.
I also think that he's also in the process of like pivoting his sound again. So we saw it happen with the project from Sounds from the Other Sides, where this was the first time we was hearing this type of Wizkid.
Yep.
He wasn't giving us Lamba. He wasn't like screaming like he was doing on Superstar and IO and those projects. And so I think whenever there's a change, people are a bit suspicious, like, we don't know this version of Wizkid, and we're not sure if we like it. But in the same way that people have gone back to Sounds of the Other Side and be like, oh, actually, it's a decent project, maybe in a year or two, or maybe even 3, people will come back to More Love, Less Ego and be like, oh, it was actually a great project. It was just in the shadow of Made in Lagos, so we weren't able to appreciate it in the same way.
Absolutely.
That
Man,
makes a lot of sense.
It's crazy.
That makes a lot of sense.
But you want to say something?
No, go on.
But recently, obviously, let's go into this. Obviously, we know what's been happening in the culture, and you spoke to this guy as well. You interviewed him.
Who? I've spoken to so many people.
You spoke to Mohbad.
You look struck.
Yeah.
I know you spoke to Mohbad and everything.
My love.
I love the guy, and obviously we saw what happened. Unfortunately.
Would you say that is one of the most tragic events that have happened during the course of your career?
Of people that you know?
I think outside of social media, me and Mo would catch up. He was in the UK maybe 3 weeks before he passed. I was actually supposed to go to meet him and his wife where they were staying. He was about to come
That was the thing that surprised me. I didn't know my man had a whole wife and a kid.
Yeah. He was signing up. He was actually we were just about to announce him as one of my latest clients because he wanted to do PR. And obviously, I've worked with Bella Shmurda now for like 3 years, and he was Bella's best friend. So I know him outside of the music. So this is going to be a tough topic for me.
I know. See, it's a tough conversation because of everything surrounding the whole thing, and obviously how young he is as well.
27, yeah.
How young he is, and seeing it just play out in real time. Over social media. Everyone was like, golly, that is crazy. But it's I don't know.
We don't need to talk about it.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I can lift the mood and say that I was the first international broadcaster to interview him, which was crazy. I went to go meet him with my video guy in a hotel and a friend because I'm not... just from personal experience as a female in this industry, I would never go into a male space by myself. I made the mistake once.
Never doing it again.
It was a madness. I would never do it again.
I'm not going to ask you what happened.
I won't even say it, even if you ask.
I'm not going to ask you what happened.
But being able to meet him, and I remember him being super nervous because he was just like, we don't do interviews. Like, that's the thing. We don't do press. We don't do interviews. So this is going to be my first interview. And I was just like, oh, okay. Well, I'm happy. And he was even asking me like, oh, how do you guys sing KPK in London with your funny accents? And me too, I was like, bro, we are chewing our mouths.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it now. But at the time, obviously, I had no idea what I was speaking about. And he was so hospitable. Like, we had shots before after the interview. He fed me, he made me feel really welcome and just very gentle spirit. And it was a couple months after my first interaction and interview with him that we actually started forming a working relationship, you know. But that trip for me in general was super amazing. It was I told you I was in Nigeria 5 months the year before last, so that was 2021. And I was knocking these interviews out of the park. I had met him that week. I think I'd met Olamide that same week. And again, being able to say that I'm the first international journalist that these guys have ever met is something that it's never about me. I love telling or helping people tell their stories. And it was great just for him to show a different side of him, because before then, as I mentioned, he wasn't really doing interviews. So we were able to show a fun side of him, a vulnerable side of him, and just may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah, you know? of course. Perfect. What's your favorite interview
so far?
And your worst interview?
Can I guess?
Go on.
I feel like your favorite one would be with Davido.
And my least favorite?
That one would be a bit difficult for me to guess. But did I get the first one right, would you say?
You know what? I think when I interviewed Davido is when people took me seriously as a journalist.
Okay.
I think before then, it was just like, oh, okay, that's the girl that people go to if they're in the UK and they do Afrobeats. I think after the Davido interview, it was just like, oh, so she's getting like OG.
Did he tell you that he was gonna fly you out with
I wish he did.
So on this private jet,
bro, listen. I didn't know that this how rich folks trick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Did you see the interview that he did with the chicken girl?
Everyone saw that.
You know what I mean, bro? I was looking at that fake it, bro. I didn't listen. I was not familiar with your game, bro. Salute. You know what I'm saying?
But honestly, so that was 2019, just before he did his O2 Arena show. Yeah. And that year was a great year for me. That's the first year I interviewed Olamide. That was the first year that I interviewed a lot of the greats. And I think after saying, okay, I've interviewed Davido, it opened the floodgates for other people to be like, okay, she's a reputable journalist. Let's go to her platform. And I think that was 4 years ago now is crazy.
That's crazy. Was that the moment you were like, I'm here now?
I just need to tell you guys. Davido is my favorite song of all time.
Davido. Oh yeah, that's a hit.
I can sing the song word for word. You can play half a bar of it and I know it's Davido.
Listen, I tell people this. You see that era of Davido. Of Davido, that you go into Eve, Fall,
Shocky, Forgotten.
If those songs dropped now, it's game over,
bro. If dropped this year,
that's what I'm saying.
Afrobeats would be on.
I think he was way ahead of his time.
2017 was his year. He had 4, it was back to back. Honestly, it was great.
Yeah, then obviously he came with what's it called, Assurance and all that. Oh my god!
And let me tell you, I think because for me, maybe because I've seen David more. So for the 3 Kings, I've seen all of them perform in concert at festivals, whatever. But with David, I've been able to run into him at the airport. As an example, we were in Doha together randomly, both actually on our way to Dubai from Nigeria, and we had a full-length conversation. He didn't have any bodyguards, no assistants. In fact,
sweet.
I think he had come out of first class, and I guess he was waiting for the guys to catch up. He's like, oh, how did you know it was me? I said, bro, even with your hat like this, I saw your new teeth. Your teeth were shining.
He got me your smileys and that.
He was hiding his face.
So his cap was low, right? And I think this was definitely like post-COVID or maybe even middle of COVID times. But I think he took down his mask to take a phone call, and it was just after he got his teeth. I knew it was him. Regardless, even from his stature, I knew it was him. So I was like, hey, David. He was like, I was like, Gracey. He was like, oh, Gracey. And we had a good convo, and I was like, all right, bye. And I guess maybe because he's so down to earth. I think he made the interview more enjoyable. I was able to ask him awkward questions about his Tim Westwood freestyle, which ended up being the song "Risky" that he dropped. And because me, I will, like I said, I'll fams you. I'm very bubbly. I talk a lot. I've been speaking a lot.
Yeah, of course.
It was easy for him to reply. Thank you, appreciate. I don't take myself too seriously.
Listen, you don't have to, man.
And again, it's about making or creating a space for the artist to tell their story. So if that means I get to make a fool of myself to make you feel comfortable, I'll do it.
It is, of course.
So I think, till date, he doesn't follow me. He doesn't need to follow me. But anytime I post him, he'll repost. We're in the DMs and he sees what I'm doing. And obviously I'm hailing him. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was one of my most memorable interviews because I got to meet the person outside of the artist. And since then, we've jammed each other in Soho House and he's greeted me. And I see him in person and he sees me in person and we're people speaking. Yeah. Whereas I haven't necessarily had that experience with all the other artists. So
do you know what? You need to buy this big box and everything that you're talking about.
And take you with me.
Exactly.
Yes.
I need to be in that box. You know what I'm saying?
I'm putting myself up.
Don't worry, two of you.
No, bro. I'll go in the box. You go in the pause, innit? You go in the pause, bruv.
I'm screaming. One of my other most memorable interviews was Yemi Alade. Our show is a nighttime show, so we're on at 9 p.m. Okay. And I think at the time actually maybe we were on at 10 p.m. Again, remember Afrobeats wasn't big, so we've got one of the not so nice slots. But actually now it's become a nice slot because we're now the soundtrack to your evening. Of course. I love where we are, but Yemi Alade came and we were her last interview of the day, and I think she had done 4 or 5 interviews. And while we were playing the music, in between talking, she was sleeping.
Oh my!
Her eyes were closed, but as soon as the mic was on, she was perky. And I just looked at that and I said, "Wow, that's dedication."
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would have been like, you know what, let's pre-record at a more reasonable hour. You'll play it whenever you play it. But she came in her Ankara, full, and you know what? I love her. Adekunle God has again been someone that I've interviewed maybe 3 or 4 times. Afrobeats 3 or 4 times. And the beautiful thing about being in the industry this long is that you get to interview these guys on multiple different platforms. And not only did they remember you, they remember that they had a great interview with you. So as soon as they see you, their energy is 100. And again, because I've prepared for previous interviews and I'm staying plugged into the culture, sometimes I don't even have to necessarily do the heavy lifting because I've had that conversation with you before and you've even told me something different. So I'm able to be like, oh, remember last time we spoke, you told me about da-da-da-da-da. Honestly, it's a great place to be. I have 6 more people left on my list and then I can retire a happy woman.
Who are these?
Oh.
Tell us 3 of them. Just 3.
No, I'm too nosy, bro. I need the 6.
I'm not sure we're gonna get.
I'll give you 3.
All right.
Star Plus, I've said it already.
Oh, Star Plus.
Because again, it was my
Star
entry
Plus, man.
into Afrobeats.
If you're watching this,
please.
Or if someone that knows them, send them this clip.
Yeah.
I need to interview you guys. Ashake, because he hasn't really done a lot of interviews lately. Since he's blown, he's given us that mysterious and
the whole mystic thing. And
I love it. And I was with him, over summer touring. Well, I wasn't touring with him, but we jammed in Germany when I was touring with Ox. And I actually met him before he blew on the Mr. Money set. He did a remix with Zlatan and Peruzzi.
Okay.
And I was at that video set and I didn't know who he was and he didn't know who I was. And we met there. And when I met him again in Germany, I was like, bro, do you remember me? I was like, of course, how could I forget you? And I was like, oh, this is so cute.
Nice.
Obviously, his page is very polished, so he doesn't repost everyone.
Of course.
But he's like, yeah, you're tagging me every week. How will I not know you? All right.
Mr. Money with the vibes.
Yeah, Mr. Money with the vibe right now. And then Wande Cole. Again, because he doesn't do press. And I know these names aren't maybe the ones you're thinking, but for me, if these guys don't regularly do interviews, it means there's so much of their story that haven't been told from them. And that is what I want to uncover, dig into.
You can tap a lot into that.
And I love them as musicians and I love their music. So again, it's not like I'll have to necessarily do heavy lifting, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to ask questions that will just kind of open us up to a whole world that we just never knew about.
Absolutely.
So we know a little bit about Wande and maybe a bit of his addiction problems, or we know a little bit about Ashake and how he was really slumming it for 10 years before he broke out.
That's crazy.
Right? Or we know about Star Plus being at the front line and maybe they even looking back thinking they could have been the P Squares or the D'Banjis. Maybe they were ahead of their time. And these are the conversations I want to have. So those are 3 of my top 6.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That is a top. I read that's a top notch interviews to get.
Sorry, one more honorary mention to the Ghanaians. I've spoken to Shatta Wale, but never on the mic. He is a firecracker.
I want to speak to Shatta.
I want to speak to.
An interview with Shatta will be. Pure vibes.
Yo,
it will be mad.
That is one guy. When I watch him on social media, I love.
Love him.
I love. He is funny as hell, and he's not even trying to.
Right.
No,
Do you
no,
get?
no,
And
no,
like my first Afronation was actually Afronation Ghana, not Afronation Portugal. And I went and they were singing Wale, Wale,
Wale,
Wale.
Wale.
And he pulled up with like 40 different motorbikes. Like he had a whole motorcade. And I was like, I knew what like Shatta Wale was big.
When he's
but
moving, the
in
whole of
Ghana?
Nima, is coming with him.
Yeah.
Like motorcade, bikers,
Yeah.
like bro.
I need it.
Boom,
and
boom,
this
boom,
is not
boom.
to blow my own horn, but I've done Stoneboy, I've done Sark. So to complete the three would be a dream.
A three-headed monster.
And you know, so in Ghana we have the three S's, so Sark, Stoneboy, and Shatta. So to complete that would be great. We have the 4K, so that's King, Promise, Kiddy, Kwame Eugene, and Kwesi Arthur. And I've been able to do those four. So if I'm able to do him, that completes the holy seven. I'm done.
Would you still put Kwesi Arthur in that category?
For the alliteration purposes, 100%.
This guy is crazy.
But
But I mean,
since
listen.
Sons of Jacob, he's been quiet.
I
He's been
absolutely
quiet.
love Kwesi Arthur. I've been rocking his song from like I absolutely love him.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's fallen quite heavily over the last, I would say, 2-3 years.
I want to give more context and say that the rap out of Ghana has been very focused on the Asaka boys and drill, right?
yeah,
Afro drill. And because he doesn't necessarily make that kind of rap, maybe he's fallen out of the mainstream. I'll give you that. Sons of Jacob was the last project, and he's done a show in London actually since then.
Yep.
But I think what's happened is that he's just not mainstream anymore. And unfortunately or fortunately, with the way Afrobeats is going, rap in general, like all of the rappers are becoming singers.
Yep.
You know what?
And so he's also now singing, but maybe he's just not mainstream
He's not
anymore.
because I was thinking you was gonna mention
Who?
the name's just gone out of my head.
Another K name.
Oh my god, what's wrong with me?
Yao Tog.
No.
Black Sheriff?
Black Sheriff.
Yeah.
I was thinking you was
I
gonna
love Black
mention Black Sheriff.
I love Black Sheriff.
When you said the four, like Kiddy, Kwame
I was just
Eugene.
going on the K's.
She was just going on the case.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You probably wonder the reason why he's looking at me and laughing, and we're laughing there.
You was looking at me and laughing.
You
I don't
probably
know what
wondering
you're talking
everything.
about.
That was because it was Kwesi Arthur that did that.
Oh.
Because it was Kwesi Arthur that did that.
Got it. Yeah. The
That what I
stars are
want-
aligning.
Yeah.
You know what? I have interviewed him 3 times now. He's a great guy. Great guy.
I think he's a great. I've not met
a
him in
great guy.
person, but I think.
So
he's
how do you know
great
he's a
guy.
great guy then?
Bro, you watch his interviews. You can just tell like he's a very simple.
And he says Chale a lot. I love it. Chale boy, I love it. I love him.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Anyway, quickly before I don't know if we're
yeah.
gonna wrap it up or whatever. You mentioned Afronation in your conversation about Shatta Wale, I think. Obviously, from the news we're hearing, Afronation is not gonna be happening in Ghana for the first time in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been moved to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be there?
I will be there.
She'll be there. She is gonna be there. I wanna be there too. I wanna be there. And I think the lineup that's come out right now is Black Sheriff as well.
Yeah, Burna Boy, Flavor, Black Sheriff, and Shay Vibes.
And Shay Vibes. I think it's gonna be sick. What do you think? Or rather, having been to the Ghana Afronation, do you think, because now this is gonna be happening in the stadium and everything, what do you anticipate?
Not on a beach, because when I hear Afronation,
You imagine a beach, innit?
From
Beach.
the
Same
one
as well.
from Miami to Portugal to Ghana, it's
Yeah,
always
like,
Did they do one in
it's a-
was it Puerto Rico?
Puerto
Yeah.
Rico,
Puerto Rico
Las
as well.
Vegas.
It's always been a beach thing. Do you think this is shifting the dynamic a little bit, and then it might just I don't know.
So I think Afronation, you're right, has built their brand on being a beach festival. So having it in a stadium or arena is definitely going to be a different vibe. I think having been on the beach though, especially like the first year in Accra, oh my, it's sweaty. Even though it was dark and it was late, and even though we had a bit of the sea air, it's still like 30, 40,000
It's very
people.
humid.
And being where I was stood, I had my little like coconut water, and I didn't even have the liberty to go and use the restroom because if you move, you're not getting back.
You're not going back in.
Are you serious?
So I feel like there might be a bit more structure and organization in a venue. I'm hoping for that. I think when we think about, logistics and operations on the continent, when you're putting on a show of that scale, you're thinking about things like electricity, you're thinking about light, you're thinking about having enough power for the sound. I remember when Cardi B came to Ghana, Ghana.
Yo.
They were dragging her for having a very short show, but there literally was no generator to power the sound. So I'm hoping that being in a venue that has done music concerts before, the infrastructure will be there for us to have a great show. And I think, the complexities of just doing anything by the water, regardless of whether your partners are Live Nation or whatever, I think it would just be easier in a venue. So I'm wondering if they're going to still bring the beach vibe, or there be like a fake beach somewhere where we still have straw cabanas that are selling the drinks and the foods and stuff.
So maybe they'll set it up like a
I'm curious to see
coconut trees and all that.
Do you think it'll ever go back to Ghana? Because I'm here for that.
I think it will, though.
I think that maybe Nigerians will speak, right? Dirty December as it is, the roads are a mess, right? Everybody's come home to celebrate. In fact, it's so funny. Locals leave Lagos to go to the villages and towns that they've come from to celebrate Christmas with their families, and everybody else comes to Lagos to celebrate with their families or to have a good time. So I think it will be really interesting to see if we can actually survive with that many cars on the street. And, if it goes well, maybe there'll be more tourism from Nigeria. But for now, Ghana has it. From Year of Return to Afrochella to Dirty Rave to Afronation. You guys
have that shit, man.
And don't forget, the population of Ghana is the same as one state in Nigeria, Lagos. Yeah. So already infrastructure-wise, you're not having to battle with as many people on the street, in the clubs, in the restaurants. So you are set up for tourism. Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see whether Lagos can rise to the occasion. We already have all of the bars, all of the restaurants, all of the shisha spots.
You've got all of that.
And the beaches. Bro. What we don't have is capacity. The road is choked. So we'll see.
But then at the same time, the way Nigeria is built and everything, if this is successful and they see that they can actually do this properly in Nigeria, bro, they can do this in Lagos, do this in Port Harcourt, Abuja. That's how big
So let me
Nigeria
say, with Block Party, which is one of the big shows that happens in Nigeria, they've been able to go and do Mainland Block Party, which is on the mainland of Lagos, Island Block Party, which is on the island, and they've even gone and done Capital Block Party, which happens in Abuja. I think there's a few more safety factors when it comes to PH and anything happening in the south with, oil, and I'm not going to say kidnapping, but
that was my next question.
And the safety factor in Nigeria, I feel like Lagos, we've had how many Dirty Decembers? 5 or 6 now consistently, and we haven't heard any crazy news of anything happening. But I think PH will still be.
But with
a little bit iffy.
Don't forget, with Afronation comes a lot of people from the diaspora.
You're right.
And so there's going to be a lot of security as well.
Yeah, they can be.
I'm going to say, though, that even at Easter, when, Grace Lodoja and the guys do homecoming, it's a lot of IJGBs, a lot of people coming from the diaspora coming home. And security isn't necessarily a factor. I mean, like I said, I lived in Nigeria for 6 months last year, 5 months the year before. I was in and out of Bolts. Yes, a few people on the timeline will remember that I was arrested at a point, and that was more around not paying, not giving the guys their funds. However, by and large, if you think about that's an 11-month space, I was arrested once. I think the safety thing, and I speak like this, when I go to Nigeria, I'm not trying to do accent because it doesn't make a difference. You can see I look different. You can hear I sound different. I'm not trying to form.
Give us the Nigerian accent.
I can't. Okay, I actually can't. I'm terrible.
Do you know what? How was Nigeria like? You lived there 6 months and everything. How was it though? Because I've not been to Nigeria in a long time.
You didn't look me.
You get me? And I'm looking to go back.
Come, we're ready for you. I love it. When I'm in Lagos, I drive in Lagos.
Oh, you do?
I do. Wow. And I stay on the mainland. I don't stay on the island. I will cross third mainland and I'm roughing it with the... you want to do me? I'll do you. What? I also think the mark of knowing whether you can live somewhere is if you can move freely. Yeah. So I didn't want to have to always rely on family. I didn't want to always have to rely on boats that will cancel 5 times before they come and pick you up. Yeah. My experience with boats in Accra is even worse than bro, if you don't do boats X, you get into a car that has no AC and the guy will say, yes, I don't have AC. And you'll be looking at him and they'll be looking at you in Accra or in Lagos. It's a
99% of them only take cash.
Yeah.
If you
and they will drop you where London, you are.
You think you can book with your card on the app and then pay? They will be like, how are you paying? As soon as you say, I've already paid. They'll just X you. They don't even say bye. They'll just drive off.
And you
Are
know
you
what?
serious?
The joke is the difference in
Oh,
Lagos
because
is
they don't want the platform to take some of their money.
right.
Okay.
In Lagos, at least they'll call you before they get to you and say, Oga,
How far though?
I no go do car trip. In Accra, they'll wait to meet you there, ask you, and then say no, and then
just
drive
drive
off
off.
after you've
crazy.
wasted 10, 15 minutes. So yeah, come back. You'll love Lagos.
Yeah, listen. I really want to go back. I really want to go back and visit, man. It's been a long time. I haven't been in 13 years.
Wow. And when you come, you have to do like minimum 6 weeks.
Easy.
Honestly,
What?
yeah, 6 weeks.
I've never spent more than 3 weeks in Ghana.
What? Okay, but you guys are in the scene, right? So you're going to use like 2 weeks to socialize, do all the bars. You're going to go to Zoya, DNA, whatever. Then you're going to do 2 weeks of like networking, going to all the labels and meeting the artists. And then you'll actually do 2 weeks of tourism. You'll do Lekki Conservation. You'll go to Lafasi Park.
Yeah, that's a nice breakdown.
Yeah, Badagry. So to actually get the slave, because you know the slave, what do I want to call them? Monuments aren't just in Ghana. We have them in Badagry as well.
Yeah.
And you'll break it down like that. Enjoyment, work,
Yeah.
tourism. That's it.
You know what? That works as long as I get in your box. Here you go.
You know what? I can actually give you an itinerary now. So on Sundays, you'll go to W Bar.
Yeah.
On Mondays, you'll go to Obi's house.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, you'll actually rest.
Yeah.
Wednesday, you can pick a restaurant.
Yeah.
Thursday, you'll go to Bogobiri. So it's like an open
Fam,
mic.
she's
She's good at this. She's good at
She
this.
has this broken down, man.
I think I need you in my box.
Don't worry, I got you. And then Friday, Saturday, you'll go to all the clubs that I mentioned.
That's it.
If a strip club is your kind of thing,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely
you can
my
go
kind
to
of thing, you
Secret
get me.
Palace, you can go to Silver Fox.
Can you quickly
Hercules.
give me an itinerary for Ghana, for Accra? Quick one.
You know what though? Because I literally just left Niger, that's why it's fresh. For Ghana, oh god, I don't think I can. I don't think I know
I was
it day
hoping
by
you
day.
struggle with that one.
Okay, so you'll do Bloom Bar. Everyone does Bloom Bar. Wait, hold on. The mall that's next to the airport.
No one goes to the mall anymore.
No. There's a club on top of the mall. What's the mall called? It begins with M. Oh, I'm looking at you. Marina Mall. Yes, the club in Marina Mall.
Okay.
That's weekend as well. Marina Mall. How could I forget Marina? You know what? Let me be honest. I actually lived in Lagos. For Accra, I've only come when they told me that there's parties. Dirty Rave, Afrochella, Afronation, all white party, all black party.
Yeah.
So I don't know the itinerary week in, week out. With Lagos,
You can break
that's
it down.
like regardless of Dirty December,
That's
those
standard,
events
yeah.
happen.
Standard.
Religiously, yeah.
Standard.
So
Okay.
don't
I
worry.
hear that.
I'm
Yeah,
back
that-
in GH this December. I'll come back next year and
I'll
I'll
ask
tell
you-
you
I'll
what.
ask you the
what
same
I'm
question
nice,
again.
nice,
I might bump
nice.
into you in Ghana anyway.
Take
so
me
yeah,
with
yeah.
you. What you mean bumping?
This
we
guy,
going,
you
we
better
going,
follow him
we
and
going.
everything. You got, this
We
guy, you gotta
going.
follow him and everything, man. He's all over the place, man.
Okay, wait. Question back to you. What's the itinerary, Mister? I know so much.
Okay, go on.
ITK.
ITK.
I'm a homebody.
So where are the places you go to?
Yeah, you tried to draw me out. You didn't think it was coming back to you. Tell us, where are we going?
I'll start off at Bloomba. You get me?
I said
For
Bloomba,
starters.
praise
I'll
God.
start off at Bloomba. You get me?
Then,
I'll go home and sleep.
bye.
I'm ending it at Ace Tantra. Did you go Ace Tantra when you was in Ghana?
No.
You never went to Ace.
Ace, no.
I thought you was popping bottles with the big boys and that. You
If
need
they-
to go
if
to
they-
Ace. Oh.
Ace, I don't think I did.
In Osu, Ace Tantra, that is where everyone goes to end the night. That's where Davido, that's where Burna Boy, that's where they be
All right, if
chilling
they
when
were
they're
there,
in
then I
Ghana.
was there too. All right.
Listen, Grace, thank you so much.
Did you call me
man.
Grace?
Gracie.
Oh, wow.
Gracie.
So
Gracie. Nah, it's Gracie. Listen, thank you so much, man.
Thanks
real,
for
real,
having
real.
me.
Listen, you keep on talking about your artists and everything. Which artists are those?
So I am Team Oxlade and Team Bella Schmurda. But my agency look after quite a few people. So we've just finished the campaign with Bob Marley, which was crazy. We were working with them for 9 months.
Okay.
Pushing the Africa Unite album. If you haven't heard it,
I've
it's
heard it.
amazing.
Amazing.
We've
all
got
heard it.
features on there from Tiwa, from Rema,
Sarkodie.
Tenny,
Yeah.
Sark. Honestly, it's an amazing project.
Yeah.
And so yeah, even though I'm on the like management and internal team for Oxlade and Bella, I do publicity for everyone. So if you would would like to, increase your visibility and awareness,
Please.
with promo, press, publications, or playlisting,
Please.
feel free to hit me up.
Please. You know what? Let's talk about it after this.
Just come with budgets, okay?
Okay.
I'm not doing anything on exposure, okay? I have bills to pay too.
We
know.
No. We would definitely talk on everything, man. We'll definitely talk. Okay, so since you mentioned
My artists.
your artist,
Please,
Oxlade.
guys, Oxlade has just dropped a track with Dave called Intoxicated. It's amazing. We have a lyric video, a visualizer,
That song is fire.
challenge on the YouTube as well. And we
Okay.
have an album coming. You've heard it here first.
Yeah,
So
nice.
get plugged in, okay?
Nice. Before we get into the sleepers and everything, for everyone that's watching, where can they find you?
_ Gracey Mae on all platforms. That's Twitter, that is Facebook, that is Instagram, and Snapchat, as well as TikTok. And actually, I give you different things on each platform, okay? So my Instagram is my CV. Anytime I'm with a celebrity, you
It's
will
right
see it there. On my TikTok, I'm really giving you behind the scenes of like music business and my life. On Twitter, I'm really sharing like music business, like information and education. And on Snapchat, I'm just being a girly girl, okay?
I like that.
Facebook, it's for the old people.
For the old
there.
people right there, you got
find me
me.
there.
I always tell people, I use my Facebook to check on the people that I went to secondary school with. You got me back in the day, man. For real, you get me. I just look at them, I be like, oh shit.
Facebook is where I remember your birthday.
I'm telling you.
Left to me or more, I don't know anything.
Don't forget. I'm so horrible with birthdays, man. You know what I'm saying?
cracking
Listen,
it,
some of you people out there, man, salute to you guys. I say some of people, all of you out there, all the freshers around the world, salute to you guys.
Freshers.
As you guys know, this is Fresh Off the Boat Show. Subscribe if you've not subscribed. Watch the videos on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Or tell an enemy to tell a friend.
Because they got friends too.
Everybody
You know what I'm
get
saying?
friend.
And also, we're on Spotify as well. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Orange Podcasts.
Everywhere. We
Tangerine
did it.
Podcasts. All your platforms right there. Your audio platforms, we are there. Check us out, Fresh Off the Boat Show, Fresh Off the Boat Podcast. Thank you very much.